Live. Welcome everybody to the
Hi.
24th episode of Playtest This. This time featuring Dickie Adams and his game The Five Wards. I
That's Chapin.
am what's that?
Dickie Chapin.
That's Dickie
What did I
Chapin.
say?
Adams.
Oh, I have a buddy. I have a buddy who's also a game designer named Dickie Adams. He made
Oh.
a cool little card game. So sorry, I totally substituted his last
No
name.
problem.
Dickie Chapin with five wards.
I'll
Not
have
Dickie Adams.
I'll have him eliminated.
Exactly right. I hope he's doing well. I am Evan Halbert.
There can only be one.
You might have heard of After the Empire, and then I've got a couple other games hopefully coming out at some point. That would be awesome. Who's next? Jack.
Sure. Yeah, I'm co-host Jack Dunbar, New Kingdom Gaming. Got a Kickstarter coming out in April for New Kingdom Gardeners. Really excited about that one. But I do a ton of playtesting. So that's where I met Dickie. I'm really excited to get into his game and excited to have Wes and Trevor back to the show. Wes, do you want to tell us about yourself?
I'm a crazy Canadian Canuck game designer and many other things under my belt, or trying to anyway. Just happy to be here to play test your game. Looks
Thank
pretty
you.
And
cool on the
Wes,
surface.
we were trying to remember what were the names of the games you've published already?
I can't remember anymore either.
You got Die in the Dungeon. We know that.
Die in the Dungeon, Legends of Novus, Questeros are my three big
Questeros.
ones. Yeah.
Questeros. I've been saying that wrong.
Either way,
Say Questeros. Okay.
potato.
And Trevor?
And I am also a game designer from Canada.
There can only be one.
Me and Wes
lot
will
of
leg
that. It's a
wrestle for it later.
We're all over the
Working on
place.
working on a game, Alcatraz Escape the City. And I've probably got about 7 or 8 or 50 other things on the side.
Right.
One of which is saving lives. So
That's
Oh, yeah.
actually true.
That's just my day job.
So we were at Shucks
Oh no,
Con.
don't tell it.
We were at Shucks Con. Well, okay, I won't go into the whole story, but basically there was somebody who had fallen and cracked their head open, and Trevor was like bang on it, like ran through the like stuff, told the person what needed to happen and what they should do, and like yada, and he was just like boom, 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 calm, cool, collected, A, B, C, here's what needs to happen.
Wow.
And it was pretty impressive to watch. I was like, shoot, man, that was awesome.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's not telling the start of that story. The start of that story is we're on
Is
the other
that it
side of the
was-
street, walking down the street, and I look at Evan and I'm like, I guess I have to go over there now. Okay, I guess I have to go over there now.
Am I the nearest medical professional? Dang it.
Am I
Dang
the
it.
Miss Canadian?
I thought you were gonna say it was your fault for tripping that
No.
guy.
That's what I thought too. Yeah. Or maybe this guy died later. You know. I don't know.
No, hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
And
Not
joining
more.
us today is Dickie Chapin. Please tell us about yourself.
Yeah, Dickie Chapin. I'm a game designer from California. I live just south of Los Angeles, and I started a game earlier this year that funded called Joystick Heroes, and this is 5 Wards. This is going to be released next summer on Kickstarter in collaboration with Dragon Egg Games. And so, yeah, I'm excited to test this with you tonight.
Awesome. Boom. Okay. Tell us about 5 Wards and then teach us how to play.
All right. Well, I've got all my I'll always script it out, so I don't
Perfect.
make any mistakes. So hopefully that'll go smoothly that way. But I've got this little blurb that I throw out, little theme thing. So the backstory behind 5 Wards is in the working class slums of a booming 19th century city, the most colorful gangs of the era fight for control of the 5 Wards. Recruit and deploy your thugs to infiltrate the city, brawl with rivals, execute devious schemes, and establish your gang as the most notorious and powerful bunch of hooligans around.
Nice.
So yeah, this is a kind of a lightweight blend of area control, worker placement, dice selection, and a little card play. And it's played over a number of rounds, and your goal is to earn victory points.
Awesome. How do we play?
All right, we ready to go right into the teach?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Pay attention, Trevor.
I'll
All
try.
right, so
Did you literally just play this?
no, he hasn't. Actually, Jack's
Okay.
played it. Nobody else here
Yeah.
has.
Okay.
But Trevor, this is probably my most complex game, and it's still not very complex. But here we go. So yeah, your goal is to earn victory points by deploying your thugs, which are represented by the colored discs in your bag in front of you. And you're going to deploy those to the map to gain control of the city. Each of the 5 wards on the map is going to have a different scoring condition, which I've already drawn from the bag and placed out. Those are those black tokens there. And some of the wards might award points for having the most thugs there or for reaching certain quantities of thugs. And you can read those and see what we're going to be working with tonight. The final round is triggered when the landmark deck runs out, and that's up here. You can see we've got 5 cards already out. Those are going to be the first set of landmark cards. So again, when this deck runs out, and that is culled at the beginning of the game to 13 landmarks and 5 brawls. So when that runs out, we're going to trigger the end of the final round. And after that, the player with the most victory points is the winner. And just FYI, victory points are pretty hard to come by in this game. So typically scores average 10, 12 points per player. So every point you can get is pretty precious. Okay, so in order to get your thugs onto the map to score points, you'll first need to recruit them onto landmark cards, which we've already looked at there at the top of the board. And we'll do this through dice selection each round, but more on that process in a second. So landmarks are said to be located in the ward names shown on the board directly below the card. So this one is, for example, in Westchester, which you can see on the map is down here. So yeah, remember the card is always in the ward that the name shows underneath the card. Where was I? Lost my place. So each landmark card shows a number of white spaces for recruiting thugs, along with some arrows across the bottom for where you can deploy them to the map. As you can see, all of them have an arrow pointing straight down, so you can always deploy to the ward the landmark is located in. The diagonal arrows give you the option to send thugs to the wards to the left or right of that card. And note that if Westchester's landmark has an arrow pointing left, it will wrap around over to Eastwick on the other side and vice versa. So when you deploy thugs to a ward on the map, we're going to first check the black status tokens under the ward logo. And oops, let me put some of those out real quick.
Which one did you say would connect to Eastwick?
So if this card had a diagonal white arrow pointing this way,
oh, I see.
Wrap
Gotcha.
around.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the first thing you're going to do is check the black status tokens that I just put out under the ward logo where you plan to send them. Status tokens provide opportunities to use your influence to beef up your recruits. All of these tokens show a 1-to-1 equation, and that means the number of thugs you deploy there isn't affected by the token, basically. And most of them also show a second option that allows you to pay a resource from your gang board to get a special conversion rate. So you can see here, the first one, for example, if you pay, this is capital, that's what that stands for. If you pay one of those tokens from your gang board, you will convert every 1 into 2. And then here 2 to 4, 2 to 3, etc. So it's basically a way of kind of getting some extra recruits there.
And will you only ever have one of each of those resources?
No, you can get
you
more.
Could have multiple. Okay.
And is that a multiplier, or it's literally just one time you do that thing?
It's one time. Yeah.
You turn from 2 into 4. You don't turn 4 into 8.
Exactly. Can't do it twice unless you pay a second resource. You can if you pay a second one.
Oh, you can do a multiple.
Unless you're the
Okay.
collective, and then you have special powers.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's me.
Wait.
Ooh.
All right.
Just joking.
Let's see. Where am I here?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to pay close attention to those tokens and use them wisely. They'll be changing throughout the game whenever we reveal a new landmark. So one of the 5 status tokens is always flipped to show the inspector's location. And these all have an inspector on the back. And whenever the inspector is in a ward, you may not send thugs there. The inspector will randomly move to a different ward at the end of each round. using the number on the top right of one of our tactics cards. So let's locate the inspector now. The first place he's going to be is in ward number 3, so he's going to start out in Centerville. You can see where I did that top right of that card. So after applying any status tokens effects, you're going to stack your thugs somewhere inside that ward's borders on the map, and add to your stack whenever you send more there later in the game. And notice that each ward has a ward boss space. To be the ward boss, you must send the tallest stack of thugs there in a single round. This is not combined, it's the number of thugs you send in one round. This single round stack will stay on the ward boss space separate from your other thugs there if you put in any more there. And it'll also count towards your final scoring in that ward. Occupying a ward boss space when the game ends gets you an extra victory point. And it also gets you immunity from the effect of any coppers on your game end scoring in that ward. And I'll tell you more about coppers in a second. During the game, you can take over a ward boss space from a rival by deploying a taller stack of thugs there in a single round. So a tie does not unseat them. It must be taller than what's there. So now that you know how to deploy thugs from landmarks to the map, let's learn how to recruit them to landmark cards in the first place. And we're going to do this through dice selection, and that's how each round begins. Let me pause for a second and ask if anybody has any questions so far.
As long as I don't go first, I think I'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm a little bit lost, but that's okay.
Yeah, we'll help you through it once we get started. No problem.
There's a lot of words.
You think I'm slow? Have you met Evan?
Oof. No worries.
True. It's true.
All right, so let's talk about playing around. So there are 3 phases in a round, and they move pretty fast. And this is all on your reference card that's next to you there. We're going to start with a recruit phase. In the recruit phase, the gang with the starting player marker, which is this hat here, is going to roll all of the dice to create a selection pool. And then we'll all take 2 turns selecting dice snake draft style. So everybody understands what snake draft is, right?
Yeah.
You go forward and then backward. So we're going to take 2 turns selecting dice. And on each turn, you may use 1 tactics card in your hand. Let's go ahead and draw 4 tactics cards to your hand right now from this stack.
Okay.
And you'll notice that each card has an ability that you can use here in this part of the round to modify the dice or how you recruit a thug. They should be pretty self-explanatory when you read the text on the card. Each card also has that number in the top right, and that's what we're going to use to move the inspector, as well as a dice icon in the top left that we'll use when we brawl. And I'll tell you more about brawling in a second. So after selecting 1 die on your turn, you will immediately spend it to do one of 3 things. You can recruit, campaign, or draw. So when you recruit, you're going to simply take 1 thug from your bag and place it on a landmark card space that matches the icon on the die you selected. All right, so for example, if you took a hat, you could put one of your thugs on any space in these landmarks that has a hat on it. Simple as that. If the card has a space that's marked, if you look at the landmark cards here, they have this bonus space at the bottom. If they have a space that says first, last, or all, you get to place a bonus thug from your bag to that space for free if you meet that condition. So for example, if you were the first to place on this card, any of these other 3 spaces, you get to place a second thug on that space that says first for free from your bag. This one is last, so if you're the last to place one of these 3 here, you get to take that spot. And this one says all. If you place all 3 of them there, you get the bonus space there. Does that make sense?
So as an example, Dickie, this one has a rat. If I roll a rat and I use my dice to place a thug there, I can cover one of these rat spaces.
You place one of the rats, and then you are also the first to go to that card. So you get a second thug and put it on the space marked first. Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. Okay, cool. So where was I here? So yeah, if 2 or more players recruit thugs to a card with a space that's marked all, like the one that is there, you can see a little black dot there. So it says all/black dot. The black dot means a copper is going to go there. So there was a squabble since 2 of you were fighting over it, and that's going to draw a copper to maintain order. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw one of these copper tokens, which is black, and we're going to put it on that space instead of one of our tokens. And when the game ends, let's see here. When the game ends, every copper in a ward will arrest or remove 1 thug from each gang there. So when this card is deployed, it's going to go straight down to the landmark that it's located in. In this case, it would be Northington. We'll put this copper in Northington. At the end of the game, everybody's going to have 1 thug removed for that copper that's there. So you're going to want to plan for this, and there are ways to mitigate that.
At the end of the game, is that what you said?
At the end of the game, yes. So that's going to count against your final count of thugs in that ward. The second thing you can do with that die is you can campaign, and that is simply taking 1 thug from your bag and placing it on one of the 3 spaces on your gang board in front of you. And those stand for power, capital, or mayhem. Crown is power, second is capital, the bomb is mayhem. So again, these are kind of like resources, and again, you're going to use those on these status tokens to get these extra conversions, and there's another use I'll tell you about in a second. But so the second thing you can do with your die is campaign. Simply draw a thug from your bag and put it on your board on any of the 3 spaces, and you can stack them there to have more than 1. So yeah, they become like resources that you can spend during the game on schemes or status tokens. I'll tell you about schemes in a second. And notice that you start with 1 of each on your gang board at setup. So the third thing you can do with your die is you can spend it to draw, and that means draw 2 tactics cards. Simple as that. Your max hand size is 4. That's what you've got right now to start. So if you draw more than that, you must immediately discard down. So to review again, you're going to get a die, and with it, you are going to immediately recruit, campaign, or draw. Again, this is on the reference card there, so if you need to look back, you can do that. So after all players have taken their 2 turns, we're going to check to see if there are any red brawl cards to resolve. We can see we've got one out here right away. Winning a brawl is very valuable because the thugs placed on brawl cards are going to be like wilds. They can be sent anywhere you want on the map, either to the map or to your gang board for resources. So whatever you need, if you need to boost thugs in a specific ward, you can do that. Or you can put into your gang board for resources. Brawling is its own little mini game, and the rules are on the back of the reference card that we can go over when the brawl comes up. So we won't worry about explaining that right now. We'll wait till we get to there. Okay, so finally, we check to see if any of these other landmark cards are filled. And if so, we're going to proceed to the next phases, deploy and reset. Otherwise, we're going to pass the dice and the starting player marker clockwise, and we'll do another recruit phase. I know this is a lot to absorb. So after we get through a couple of rounds, I think it'll be lightning fast. You'll pick up on it really fast. So basically, we're going to roll the dice. Everybody's going to pick 2. Do one of those 3 things we talked about. If any cards are filled, we'll go on to the next part. If no cards are filled, we'll do that all again until a card is filled, basically. All right, so let's talk about the deploy phase next. If a card is filled, and that does include brawl cards, we're going to go to the deploy phase. And in the deploy phase, you're going to deploy thugs from any filled cards from left to right, starting in Westchester. And if a filled card has thugs from multiple players, deploy those in turn order. The turn order does have some impact here. All right, so first thing we'll do is if there are any coppers on that card, we'll send that directly to the landmark where it's located. And when deploying your thugs from landmarks, send them to any of the destinations shown across the bottom of the card that we talked about earlier, those white arrows. If you have multiple thugs on a card, you can send them to multiple destinations as long as there is an arrow that points to it. Remember to use those status tokens to get extra thugs, and remember that you can't deploy to a ward where the inspector is located. When deploying from a brawl card, like we talked about earlier, you can ignore all these status tokens, even the inspector, and send your thugs to any wards or to any space on your gang board. Got that?
Hmm.
Okay. So each time you deploy thugs from a card to the map, you get a chance to execute a scheme. If you look at the middle of the board here, there are 3 schemes. And to do so, you're going to simply pay one of the scheme's required resource and then do what it says. You can bolster, bribe, or blast. So you can read those on your own to figure out what you can do there. And that is, again, each time you deploy thugs from a card to the map. So if we happen to have a round where you're deploying from 2 cards, you can do 2 schemes. Again, just pay one of the resource that it says and then do the thing. Schemes are going to allow you to manipulate thugs and coppers already on the map, and you can even use it to break the inspector rule. So after all filled cards have been resolved, then it's going to be time for a quick reset phase. And in the reset phase, we're going to replace any completed landmark cards and their status tokens. If the landmark deck runs out again, then the final round is triggered. I'll tell you about that. Second thing we'll do is we're going to draw a tactics card to move the inspector, just like we did right there. And then we're going to pass the starting player and the dice to begin a new round. So let me sum up around here, see if I can do it quicker. We're going to basically select dice to recruit thugs to landmarks, gain resources, or get tactics cards. If no landmarks are filled, then we repeat. If any cards are filled, we'll deploy and then reset. Any questions about playing around?
As long as somebody else goes first, I think.
Okay.
I'm really lost, but that's okay.
All right.
I'm right there with you, Evans. But we know this is what we usually do in the first playthrough.
Yeah, Jack's played this before, so he can probably kind of start us off.
Yeah, that's not good because Jack would also be, him and Wes would be the ones that would pick this up out of the 4 of us right away.
Guns are guns.
So let's just quickly talk about the final round and scoring, and then we can get started. So when the landmark deck runs out, the final round is triggered. First, we'll refill the landmarks row with new ones from the extras deck that I've set aside here. Again, I called this landmarks deck at setup, and these are the extras over here. So we're going to refill from the extras deck, just so we have a nice full row. And then we'll do the final round as usual, with one exception. In the final round, landmark cards do not need to be completely filled to deploy from them. In addition to deploying all the thugs from filled cards, we each get to deploy 1 thug from unfilled cards. All right, so if you have 2 thugs on a 3-space card, you still only get to deploy 1 of them. After deploying, we'll put one of our tokens from our bag onto the scoring track over here, and then we'll add up our victory points, which will come from 4 sources. And again, this is on the back of the reference card. First, we're going to score in each of the 5 wards based on the scoring condition on these little black tokens. Remembering to move 1 of your thugs for each copper there, unless you're the ward boss. Again, if you're the ward boss, you get to ignore the coppers there. You're going to score 1 victory point for each ward boss space you occupy. You're going to score for the leftover resources on your gang board using the formula shown underneath those there. If you look there, you get 1 point for having 1 through 3 and 2 points for having 4 or more. And then you're going to score 2 victory points if you have the most thugs in your gang's home ward, which is shown on your gang board under your name. So again, Buxton Boys, their home ward is Westchester. If they have the most thugs there, they're going to get 2 extra victory points. So you're defending your turf, basically. And at that point, the player with the most points is the winner.
Sweet.
And sorry, what was it, a bonus for defending your territory, essentially?
Yeah, that you'll get 2 victory points if you defend your home territory, if you have the most thugs in it.
Okay.
So you're going for Northington there. That's it. Any last questions? And we can get started. And I guarantee after 1 or 2 rounds, you'll be flying along.
I have one quick question. How many thugs do you think is an average to get out onto the board?
That is a good question. Total thugs on the board.
Or how many thugs per player on average?
15 to 20 per player on the board. 25.
Gives me an idea.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Why don't we give Jack the starting player token?
Sweet.
Especially since he looks so festive.
Nice. Yeah, I've got 2 hats.
Santa Cat.
Who's the most eccentric hat? I get to nice.
And
That's who goes first.
so yeah, to start the round, Jack is going to roll all of the dice to create the selection pool for us. And the number of dice, by the way, is based on player count. It's basically 2 times the number of players plus 2. So if you have fewer players, you'll have fewer dice.
Interesting. Okay.
All right.
And then I get to pick 1 dice.
You pick
Just one.
one die and
Okay.
do something with it. Spend it immediately to do one of those 3 things.
Okay, great.
And remember to use your tactics cards here if you want to manipulate your selection somehow.
Which way are we going? Are we going towards me or towards Evan?
Well, I'm going to do this.
Why don't we go
sorry,
clockwise?
Go ahead.
Clockwise? Okay.
Okay, I'm going to take a rat. Do I take it, right? Instead of deciding?
Yeah, put it in front of you to take it out of the pool so no one else can take it.
So I'll take this rat and I'll deploy a guy here. And because I am first there, I'll place a second guy.
Perfect.
And then that's Evan's turn.
Yeah.
I will take coins. Alex is hold the and then that's last. Hold on. Take the only first. Oh, there we go.
No,
I'm
there's one
not
over
gonna
here.
take the coins. Get out of here, coin. I'm gonna take the mustache. Obviously, Tim has a mustache. Go. Mustache.
TK says hi, by the way, in the chat.
Hey,
Hi,
TK.
Oh, nice.
Hey, TK.
He says, have no fear. It's a great game.
It looks like a good.
I will
Alright,
take
Looks amazing.
hat and deploy a dude here with Evan. We're gonna go to the shipping yards to get.
Does that mean we're gonna brawl?
No, we're not on a brawl, man. We're just it's peace.
That's
It
right.
sounds like you're lying to me.
Just chill out there, guys.
It's a Christmassy area.
My name might sound like I'm lying to people, but it's just a nickname.
West the Bomber. How'd you get that name? Oh, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
We all have a past.
And so
It's
going,
a collective thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick 2 essentially.
You're
Can I
going to pick
brawl?
2 in a row.
Can I brawl myself?
No, the brawl is going to, no. I mean, on your own time, you're welcome to do that, but
I'm pretty sure I lose.
I'm kicking
You
my
can't
ass.
beat yourself there.
So remind me what the all is and what the last is.
Liar,
so
liar.
the last means if you fill
Goddamn
the
pen
last,
is blue.
if you fill the
Sorry.
last of those 3 spaces, you get to take that last bonus space.
Okay.
The bonus space marked last, and the other one marked all. That means you have to have all 3 there to get that bonus space.
Gotcha. Okay. I guess I will do. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I'll take this, and they come out of the bag, right?
Yes, out of your yellow bag there. All right, nice. Now it's back to Wes.
Oh yeah. I will take another hat and we're gonna deploy a thug here. And since wait, that says all. What does that mean?
Yes. So
That means there's going to be a copper there.
Since nobody has all of them.
Okay. Wait,
then
no, I don't want to do that. I was thinking of the last one. My apologies.
Okay.
I don't want that. Takesy backsies already.
it.
My thug wasn't there yet.
You didn't take your finger off of it. It's all right.
That's right. It was still floating. What's it? Oh yeah, I can put a thing on a thing. That's right. Deploy your thugs to the inspector's ward. Move one of your thugs. A little too early for that. And I can play 1 card each turn. Is that right?
1 tactics card per turn. Yeah. So
Oh, I forgot about that.
manipulate the dice selection with those cards if you want.
So let's say I take somebody's die. Does that mean I get to place a thug immediately plus the die that I take?
You basically are gonna, like, if there were no rats left and you wanted a rat, you could use that card to take it from Jack as your
But
selection.
I don't take back their.
No,
action.
no.
Oh, it's not that cruel then. Okay.
No, yeah.
All right. Well, let's say I want to go. Bum, bum, bum. I don't know. I'll just take this coin then, and actually, you know what? I will take the hat. I'll take the hat. We'll do this copper thing.
Whoa,
My original action stands. There we go. So then a copper comes out of the bag and fills that spot.
You got it. Perfect.
Nice.
and then we're back to Evan.
Now it's my turn, and the only thing left to do, brawl, obviously.
We're definitely going to brawl after this.
You can also put cards. You can put thugs on your stacks too. That's an option.
I already have guys there.
But you can add more.
You can stack to get more resources if you want.
You get resources when
You can use them later for these effects on the board.
Exactly.
one of you thought.
And you probably have a card that's going to allow you to choose a die if you want to. I don't know, but
I probably do.
If you wanted to do that.
Move one of it.
But you can only scheme if a card was played that you were on, right?
The schemes come into play. Yeah, if a card is full and we deploy from it, if you have a thug on that card, then you're deploying, you get to execute a scheme.
If you wish, yeah.
I shall.
Schemers.
I shall grab this. Oh.
There is another mustache spot out there if you wanted to grab it.
But then it opens up to Jack. Close it off. I say, verily, I will take.
Perfect. And then Jack can finish us off.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So these are the two dice that are left, this hat and this coin.
You have these three to choose from.
Oh, and the key. Okay, great.
Had one key. What does the key do? That weird and different, or is it already covered?
It's probably on a different card.
I don't think there are any keys, out right now.
But it works the same as everything else. It just has
It
a
does,
show.
yeah.
I'm gonna take a hat and I'm gonna place a guy on the brawl space.
You can't do that. That's not how that works.
No, it's not.
No, we'll do the brawl at the end. That isn't. It's not a place you can put a.
So the brawl is not placeable. You have to win a brawl to put tokens.
You have to. If you win a brawl,
I
you
see.
get to place thugs on it. Yes.
I got you. In that case, coins. I'll do a coin here.
Perfect.
Now.
So that ends the dice selection process, and you've all got thugs on there. As you can see, we've got 2 cards that are filled, which is great.
Yeah.
The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the brawl.
Yeah.
And let's talk about how the brawl works. So this is on the back of the reference card, and this was recently changed. So I need to find my text on it. Here, let me just read it from here. So how to brawl. To compete in a brawl, you're going to make a combo of icons from these sources. Your final dice from the pool that you selected. The icon on the brawl card, you can see this brawl card has a hat icon on the bottom. So this is kind of like making a hand, a poker.
Okay.
So you've got the dice that you selected, plus the hat on that card, plus any tactics cards that you want to use from your hand. And you're going to place them, place those cards face down in turn order, and then we'll reveal them simultaneously to see who has the best hand.
Are we talking poker hand?
We're talking the most of one suit, basically.
Okay. So
doesn't
that
have
hat,
doesn't have to be the hat,
right?
but you've got a free hat basically to work with, plus the dice that you selected. So Wes, you've got 3 hats right off the bat. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
If
who's the hat master now, Jack?
Yeah, I know. If we compete, do we lose our tactics cards when we play them?
You do.
Oh, you do. Okay.
So if you want to hold on to your tactics cards, then you cannot compete in the brawl.
And I can play all of my tactics cards if I want to?
You can play all of them, yes.
Okay, cool.
If you wanted to run out of tactics cards real fast.
I do.
I really, really do.
I do.
And I'm sorry, it's the combo ranks are listed on the back of the brawl card there. Again, this is something I just put in fairly recently. So having tested 30 different games in the past week. I forgot. So we've got 5 of they're ranked, basically poker, right? 5 of a kind, 4 of a kind, full house, 3 of a kind, 2 pairs, 1 pair.
Where's my flush?
Right.
So the gang with the highest ranking combo gets to fill the entire card with their thugs. In the case of a tie, those gangs recruit 1 thug each to the card in turn order and fill any remaining spaces with a copper.
Now,
Are there
what-
thug cards that have 4 circles?
Sometimes there might be in lower player counts. There's a 3 space card, so that's when that would apply. It's not going to apply in our game though.
All right.
And yeah, all tactics cards used in the brawl are discarded.
Whoever wins fills the card.
Yep, whoever wins, if there's a clear winner, you're going to get both spaces on that card.
From your bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go for it. In turn order, let's put down a card if you want to put down cards. Face down.
Jack goes first.
I am not going to put down cards.
All right, Evan.
I
You got a pair of mustaches to start.
do have a pair of mustaches. Obviously.
Gotta have a mustache. I feel like we should play that song right now.
I have no idea what song you're talking about.
It's Canadian.
It's a Weird Al song.
A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Evan's playing 1 card.
Yeah.
All
Great
right.
movie.
Wes playing 1. Trevor, what do you want to do? You got 2 bottles. You got a
I
pair.
do. I'm that's all I got.
Take one down, pass it around.
So you want to play compete or
No.
not?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if I compete with my 2 bottles, I have to say I'm competing with my 2 bottles, or do I just have to throw down cards?
But you can compete with your 2 bottles. Sure, you don't have to throw a card down.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm going to lose. Obviously, they have
All right.
cards to make 3 of a kind, but
All right. So those of you who put cards down, reveal. See what you got.
yeah.
All right, that's 3 of a
4
kind
hats.
beef,
4
4 of a
hats.
kind.
Yep. So Wes is going to take this one with 4 of a kind.
Yep.
Discard your cards,
I just
and Wes, you can put 2 thugs there.
Oh, the brawl's on. Sorry, Evan.
Perfect.
What
All
a
right.
fool. Thinking
So-
mustaches could beat hats.
Now we've got 3 cards to deploy from. 3 cards are filled up there. So we move on to the deploy phase. And again, this is all on the card there if you want to read what happens here. We're going to deploy thugs from any filled cards, starting from the left to right, starting Westchester. This one's not filled. This one is. So the first thing we're going to do is take this copper and put it in Northington. And that wasn't there. That was an example. So we've got a copper in Northington. And then in turn order, go ahead and deploy from there. So I think that means West first. And West can put it in Northington, Westchester, and not Centerville, because that's where the
I can't
inspector.
go to my own place. Okay.
Here's where you can execute schemes too if you want to.
Yeah.
So
No,
West,
you can't bolster to move into a place that the copper's in, can you?
yes, you can.
You can. Okay. I'll think about that. But for now, a place into Northington.
All right, perfect. And
I
Trevor,
think-
you got 2.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, Dickie, but you can always go where coppers are. You just can't go where the inspector is. Is that
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Okay. So like
Where?
coppers don't prevent you from moving in, just
Unless
the
you-
inspector
That's
does.
what I
unless
meant, the
you
inspector, so I
bribe the
can-
inspector.
Okay.
And so, just to be clear, the inspector's in Centerville right now and will move around.
Yes, they'll move around every round.
Okay. And what does a cop do again in the
Yeah,
word?
at the end of the game, he's going to subtract 1 of your thugs there in that ward.
Okay,
He's
are there
going to arrest 1 of them, is thematically speaking.
okay, so if I had one there and Wes had one there, he would arrest 1 of each of us.
1 of each of you, yes.
Okay. Are there cards in the tactic cards that let us move cops?
Let you move thugs. You can move thugs with bolster
no.
scheme.
Cops.
You can also move a copper with the bribe scheme. So you would pay 1 of that resource to move a copper from 1 ward to another
Okay.
of your choice.
And as far as winning a space, is it if I have 2 on here, do they need 3, or is it the next person to put 2 in would knock me out?
The ward boss space,
Yeah.
they have to deploy more thugs than you have there in a single round. So if
Okay.
you had 2 thugs there and they deployed 2 there in a single round, you still keep the spot. But if they deploy 3, they get it.
Okay.
They boot you out of it. All right, so Trevor put 2 there in Northington, is that right?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so Wes, you got 2. You can put anywhere you want, even where the inspector is.
That's right. We're going to bother the inspector. And because I
Oh.
put 2, I get to be the ward boss.
You are the ward boss, yeah.
Wait,
Family.
I thought you said you can't place them where they expect.
But by-
Unless the brawl allows you to bypass that rule. If you win a
Brawl.
brawl, you can put him anywhere, even where the inspector is, or to your own gang board as a resource if you want.
TK says if you lose a brawl, for each tactic card you lose, you should gain 1 bone
One
that you can
bone.
save up and use
Oh.
for your backup plan. Do
A
you mean
bone?
TK? Do you mean
A resource?
a resource or a thug?
or a thug on your board. Is that what he's talking
Yeah.
about?
But I do agree. Like if you got something for losing, something less.
I just wasted a card.
Always.
I mean,
Yes.
that's kind of in my opinion, I come from kind of an old school gaming perspective here.
Get
Like,
You
good.
lose, you lose.
if you lose, if you
Get
risk
good.
something, you're gonna lose it. You know, there's a
Yeah,
risk that
yeah.
you lose it.
Screw you, millennials.
Don't
You
tell me
lost.
that's your feelings.
There's-
I don't want to
there's
hear
no
about
certificate
them.
of participation.
Fair enough.
Nobody asked you to fight.
So okay, cool. We're off to Southtown now. We got another filled
That's
card
back
here.
to
so,
Evan. Evan's got 2 guys in Southie.
I
Um,
believe
in turn order. So Evan would, yeah. Evan
I'm
gets the first
first,
2.
huh? I
One
can go.
quick
I
question
cannot.
for you.
Yeah.
Could he have taken these 2 from the brawl and because they were going on the same turn to here had 3 and booted me out of here?
Yes.
Okay.
No, he still does have 1 more to deploy, but
Mm-hmm.
cool. Southtown, perfect. So you're the ward boss there.
We're boss out town.
Oh, too many bones. You mean a dice?
All right, so this I can only go to Southtown because the inspector is in Centerville.
Right, unless you wanted to bribe him by paying $1
Are we supposed to be doing something with these tiles?
sign. Yes, you can. So if you're deploying to Southtown, you can pay the bomb to turn 2 into 3. So since Wes was the only one, or no, I'm sorry, Evan, you had 2 there, so you could
I
pay a
did.
bomb from your gang board to get an extra thug in Southtown if you
Hmm.
want.
I mean,
I think
Do
you should.
it.
I mean, that's
Do
kind of what those
it.
resources are for
Okay,
those.
So what does the 1 for 1 mean? That seems kind of, I'm not.
Yeah, 1 for
Sure.
1 basically means you put 1, you get 1. There's no special conversion rate. There's no effect, basically. I had those blank at some point, but too many people were questioning, well, what does that mean when it's blank? So,
Okay.
yeah.
Instead, we ask, what does it mean when it says 1 for 1?
Yeah, I can't win. Look at the
There's
rule
no
book.
winning in this game.
yeah.
All right, I'm not playing any schemes. We'll save that for another round.
Okay, so you did turn the resource into an extra thug, though. Perfect. All right, so we have done that, and now we're off to the reset. And we're going to replace any landmark cards with new ones.
And they don't slide or shuffle; they stay where they are.
They stay where the holes were. We're going to put these back in and draw 3 new ones to go along with those cards.
Okay, so wherever they were played from is the one that gets replaced. So the
Exactly.
inspector's not there every round.
The inspector's not there, but we're going to draw a new tactics card to see where he goes. And he's going to stay there, actually. Staying in
Oh.
3.
Get out of my
Oh, bless.
land.
All right. And now we will pass the starting player marker
Oh,
to Evan
interesting.
and
Have some dice, Evan.
look out, everybody.
put all the dice back in, and Evan gets to roll and start us off.
Look out, everybody.
So that's how a round goes. Hopefully in a second, that'll be pretty smooth. Look at the bottles.
My. Some drinking down.
Oh my.
Rats and rum, rats and rum.
I'm going to take a coin. Go like this.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good move. Perfect.
Ciao.
Alrighty, I am going to play a card, an accomplice card, and I'm
Alright.
going to take a. What does it let me do? Place thugs on 2 spaces that match my selected die. Okay.
Oh wait, I want to do. I want to do that. It's too late. It's fine.
We'll
I'll
take
do
the
it.
key.
I'll do it later.
And I'll put 1 here and 1 here. And because I'm placing first, I can put 1 more
I
there.
should have done that.
Ooh.
Power move.
I forgot we could use the turns.
Yeah.
That was
Nice.
your first mistake.
It was.
Oh, wait. Your first mistake was the brawl.
Oh, get good.
All right, Trevor, what you got?
So if okay, what's the all again?
So if you have both thugs on those 2 spaces, you would take the bonus space as well.
Okay, so if he placed a green here, he would have 3 greens.
Correct. But if
Okay.
you place a thug there, then we're going to put a copper on that space.
Right. Okay. Um,
And as a reminder, if you're the ward boss, coppers don't affect you in that ward.
Sweet.
And you get a victory point at the end of the game.
I thought it was 2.
It's 1 for being ward boss and 2 for defending your home turf.
Oh, right.
So you can be the ward boss in somebody else's ward.
does it affect your other ones out, like that aren't the ward boss specifically, but other thugs of yours, or does it immune you from the cop completely?
It makes you immune from the cop completely.
Okay.
In that
Did I miss
ward.
what this rat track is over here?
Yeah, that's just the end game scoring track.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of helps you total things up.
The rat.
I thought maybe some pestilence was going to strike or something from a card.
Right.
Right.
I love pestilence. If you,
When it gets to 5, watch out for the rat.
yeah.
I'm gonna take the rat.
You dirty rat.
I know everybody else wants that rat, so I'm gonna take that rat.
Rat placer.
All right. Jack, you get
Man.
2 in a row here.
Okay. Oh, sweet.
Mhm.
That's good. That's very good because I'm gonna take a rat in a bottle. I take a rat in a bottle, and I'm gonna place rat and bottle. So I'm gonna go here so I can get my guys out,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna place a guy here to stymie West.
What?
All right. So
You
Here
made sure I
comes-
got to deploy this turn. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
copper.
I also wanted to help you. What am I doing to you? You don't know.
Trevor.
Now, do you get to place again? Oh, you did both.
Mhm.
Yeah, because of the
Yeah,
snake.
that's
You got
both,
Back to
yeah.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Trevor.
Trevor.
Well, if you want this to go faster, stop stealing my turns, Jack.
Never.
Um,
Trevor, check your cards if you have anything you could.
Yeah, I did. I don't see anything there that's super obvious. You
All right.
probably do, but
I can't see your cards, so it's fine.
oh, you can't?
I guess
Oh,
I can change myself to omniscient.
Be the
One.
game
I thought
master.
I thought you were peeking at him like you were earlier, going, "Oh, he's just stacked again."
Now,
I'm gonna take the coins, but instead of placing anything, I'm gonna draw 2 tactics card. Is that correct?
Yep, you got it.
Whammo.
All right, cool. And back to Evan for the final selection.
The final selection. I
Looks like you're gonna get wild.
shall, and I say,
Hey, was I
Oh.
allowed to play a card at the end of my turn?
You took a die to take 2 cards. That's a good question.
Because I
I think you
it
can.
said I can
'cause
play.
you
It says I can play a card once per turn, not once.
You can
per
play 1
round.
tactics card per turn. Yeah, sure.
So I can play this card,
Yeah,
and
Oh.
I can slip this guy over here.
yeah.
All right,
Ooh.
Move
I'm gonna
one
do
to
that.
thugs. Well, what?
Okay, and in that
Unauthorized
case, yeah, that
non-bonus
is a
space.
kind of an edge case where the copper would go back because there's still a chance blue could get all.
Sorry, Jack.
Oh,
You didn't get me this time, Jack.
There's a chance.
you can't
I
get
don't
me
mind.
this time, Jack.
He just wants to go where the cop guy
Nice.
is.
Yeah, that's a good one to pick right now.
I'll go right. Yeah.
I do not like that move at all. You are really picking on me, Wes. This
Right.
is like.
Yeah.
What I do? What I do now?
Oh, I know what you're gonna do, and you
I don't know what
screwed
you're
me on the
talking
first round.
All right,
You
so
know
we
what-
got
You
we
know what
got,
you did.
2 cards to deploy from here, starting in Westchester, and we'll do this in turn order. Evan, you get to go first with your 3.
Westchester
Ooh.
or Northington, huh?
Yep.
I don't care about
Westchester is
no.
your home ward.
I don't care about no
Nice.
Northington.
Now
Yeah.
look to pay attention to the conversion right here. So you can turn 1 into 2 if you pay that capital.
1 into 2.
So you could put 4 on there instead of
Oh.
3. Do it. It's
Do
your
it.
home.
Let me look. Let me look. Hold on. We got most. We got second most.
That's your home.
We got thugs.
Do it.
I
Get
got
in your
3. There's only 2 here in Northington.
But there's
I
about
lied.
3.
I lied. I'm gonna move them all.
That's probably a good idea.
I'm gonna scrub that
Oh, yeah.
boss. Get out of there, boss.
Oh wow, really?
Move the boss.
Okay.
Alright.
Booted.
Move the boss.
Trevor, you're booted.
Okay. You're supposed to like
Nope.
brawl
And then I'm
me out
gonna
of there.
nope. And then I'm gonna do this too. Bajoing.
So that is actually only if you go to Westchester. That's where the token is.
Oh, that's only if you go to
In Northington,
Westchester.
it's just 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Give it back.
Well,
Give it back.
Give it back.
you can have
Okay.
Northington. I don't care about Northington anymore.
There you go.
Nobody does. It's a horrible place.
It's
I don't
a-
know where it is, but it's a horrible place. You don't want to go there.
Nasty.
All right.
I'm
Jack.
Actually,
gonna-
wait. Yeah. No, it's fine. That's fine.
Apologies to everybody from North.
I'm gonna deploy to Westchester, spend my capital, make that guy too.
Perfect. All right. And now we're off to Eastwick.
Next one. So
This would be Trevor first.
Trevor first.
Yeah.
Because it goes by turn order.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Where are you gonna go, Jack?
I think he's going to Eastwick. He wants his colors out.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I love pink though.
I'm
so
gonna
you never know.
spend. Oh no, I'm not.
You
I don't have
to.
to.
Yeah.
Never mind. Maybe I'll go somewhere else then. Maybe I'll go down here. What's this? For every 3? 2 for every 3?
Mm,
Uh, why not?
a bonus point there.
Get
Okay.
out of here.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna take the ward boss spot in my hometown, of course.
Yeah.
And I'll do the 2 to 3 conversion. I'll pay the capital.
You don't have any.
Oh, I don't have any capital. I already spent it.
Yeah.
Who's there?
Oh man. Well, actually, that's fine.
Yeah, you're still
Somebody's not
in
watching
control.
their bank account.
If you deploy thugs to a region where you already are, do you start a new stack or do you stack them on?
You can stack them on top. The only thing
okay.
that matters is the ward boss versus not ward boss.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You might as well stack them because it's just easier to keep count in PTS.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
I feel
Okay,
like my
cool.
economy is suffering.
So we have finished another round. Let's get out some new landmarks.
Brawl.
Ooh, another
Brawl.
brawl. Nice.
And this one goes back to
And then we're putting all our dice back, right?
yes.
Okay.
And I will draw for the inspector's location. He's going to move to Northington this time.
Get out of
Nothing.
Centerville, you nasty inspector.
He's done his duty there. And Trevor's next. There you go. All right,
Mm-hmm.
go for it, Wes.
Wes is first.
Roll them dice. All right, there we go. Oh, do.
So remember, the brawl this time is a bottle. So if you want
Where's
to
the bottle?
try to build your hand around that, you can.
Oh, come on
Where's the
now.
bottle? I'm going to take a key and
Come on now.
fill up this thing.
All right.
Whammo.
Whammo.
But
No.
you don't have
Copper.
all of them, so there's going to be a copper there.
Oh, I
have
misunderstood that
both.
then. I thought if I placed the last one that I fill the all. Okay.
No,
wait,
that's how
No,
this guy works.
That's this one.
Wait.
Wait.
Okay. I guess I'll fill up my butcher then. So I'll take that and go to Butcherville.
Very good.
Cool. It's quite a deployment.
All right, Trevor.
Arlington.
I will take a rat.
You dirty rat.
Dirty rat. You know it's coming.
All right, Jack.
Me? I am going to take a key. So that I can place 2 guys on this space.
Nice.
Lady bird.
Nice.
That.
So let me turn
Sweet.
that back to key. There we go. All right, Evan, you're going to get 2 in a row here.
Get to go.
You're going to have a lot of deployment
Yes.
going on.
And I'm going to take this bottle and I'm going to take
Dickie, there's a question. Do you know what your base pledge idea is for this game?
Still kind of up in the air on that, but I'm kind of landing around 49.
Nice. I think that's seems reasonable.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, there's no minis, I know, but I don't know.
How many wooden are these going to be wooden tokens or
They will
cardboard
be.
chips?
They'll be
how many
either,
are there?
They'll either be wooden tokens or they'll be those little stackable things. I think the stackable would be best. As you can see, stacks are kind of important. So there's going to be 200 of those total.
I would say that's a decent price. How many cards do you have total?
The gambler.
36 landmark cards, 36 tactics cards, 12 status tokens, 9 scoring tokens, 12 dice, 5 gang boards.
Nicely done, Evan. Nicely done.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I would say because of the custom dice and all of the tokens, I'd say 49 is very reasonable.
Okay.
Personally,
I personally feel like the art earns that base pledge.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just so gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks really pretty.
Yeah.
I work with a fantastic artist on this. Yeah.
I think that's a decent price, but I'm not a Kickstarter specialist.
No, Jack, you're back up. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm back up. I'm gonna take a mustache.
Naturally.
Psych.
Mustache.
I'm gonna take a bottle. And I'm going to use this to buy capital.
Very good.
Yeah.
How did I get skipped?
No, it's back to you now.
We're going back reverse direction.
Remember
we went that way, and then Evan and Jack went.
Yeah.
Oh, Evan screwed
and
me
then
this
Trevor.
time. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Which one of these guys screwed me over?
It's someone else's fault.
Who's the jerk? Who's the jerk?
Just like to know who it was. That's all.
You just
okay.
Keep track.
I'm just trying to get 2 over here, and I just can't seem to.
He's making a living.
Oh, I don't need it anymore because these cards.
Jacking his twice.
Never mind. I'm not even paying
Gonna
attention.
find out who's jacking him round.
Yeah.
That's better than what I thought you were
Who
gonna
will
say.
be the king of 5 wards?
Friendly show. Let's see. I don't really want to do that, but I guess I probably should not. Yeah, I probably should. Okay, fine. I'll take this. I'll do that. I'll put a cop over there.
Ooh. Oh, lots of stuff going on.
I'm
in the
blocked
city.
out. I can't place anything. Son of a gun.
Yeah.
You're blocked. Draw some cards.
I'm
Would you
going
like
to
to
grab a
bolster
most
your
grab a hat and we'll drop a bomb on here.
Nice.
Boom.
All right, so we've got a brawl out there. Let's do the brawl. We've got a bottle on it.
Brawl.
So
Bottle.
whoever wants to participate can claim, can state that they're doing so. And if you want to put a card down, go for it.
I am not placing a card down. I auto fail.
All right.
What did I get for
More.
a straight again? Do I have anything I want to play? Can you see my card, Sticky?
Yeah,
Is this card
That's
anything?
that's a whoops.
Okay.
That's a note that I just made.
Oh, okay. And I happen to draw it. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
So it's
Jack,
wild.
you're making me think
It's
of
wild for
Robin
this,
Williams
right?
with your coloring.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
The late and great.
yeah,
Indeed.
I do love that movie.
And what happens if there's a tie in the brawl?
Then
They
put
each
one
place a
down.
token.
you each place a token. Yes.
What is this?
And if there's more than 2 spots, then a copper joins.
Can I still use this? Probably not, eh? It probably has to be before I.
Use what?
It would. I wouldn't want to use it anyway. It would be the same. Net. Okay, I'll play one.
All right.
I will
Perfect.
also play one.
That's unfortunate.
I will not.
That's unfortunate.
All right. Evan's out.
Called your bluff.
So Trevor and Jack. Let's see what you
Sweet.
got.
I got a champion, which is a wild. So bottle.
That's 3
of a kind.
bottles.
3 of a kind. Jack wins.
I was
Yeah.
all head nothing.
Discard those cards that you used.
Okay.
Sorry, Trevor. You don't get
Yeah.
any consolation prizes here.
Nope.
I
No.
don't even have anything on one of my cards.
No bones.
Gone.
Nice.
You got
All
a
right.
freaking wild, and I got a blank.
So I don't think I've ever seen this happen. All 5 cards are going to get deployed now.
Crazy.
Ramo.
Starting in Westchester. And yeah, again, this is where you can, let's see here. Is this scheme time? Each time you deploy thugs from the card to the map. Yeah. So every time you deploy from a single card, you can use 1 scheme if you like.
Now explain that again.
Interesting.
So
What's the
these are the 3 schemes here in the middle of the board.
Okay.
If you are deploying from a card, you can execute one of them by paying one of the shown resource.
And how are we able to do that or weren't able to do that before?
You have to expend the resource shown on it. So you have to
You have to
choose
be
do it.
deploying from a card, and then you have to pay the resource to do it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So we could have done it last turn
Yes.
if we met
Yep.
the requirement. Okay, I thought it was something that just activated. I got you.
And brawl guys can be deployed anywhere, right?
Anywhere.
Anywhere, even the inspector's board. Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. Well,
Or to your gang board if you need resources.
Come on, Jack.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
like 5 to deploy. Get on it.
I think I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blast Westchester.
Do it.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna remove one of Evan's guys,
Oh.
and then I'm gonna make a stack of 4 and take over the ward.
It removes one of your guys too, right?
Every rival.
Didn't you
No,
have
every
two
rival.
Didn't you
Oh.
have 2 there though?
He
I
has
had 2. I added 2. I took one away
But
from
they
Evan.
don't. But they don't
So
add
now
to
I
the
have
ones
4.
that are there.
They do. Yeah.
They do.
Oh, I thought.
Oh
to
no
get
no
the
no
ward-
no. You're correct, Trevor. You can't add to. Let's see.
Oh, nice try. Good
You,
idea.
you
add
have
to
to
take the ward
you
boss.
have to you can only take that over if you deploy more thugs in a single round there than he has.
Oh.
At
Okay,
which
then that's not what I want to do.
But you could
Brr.
pay 1 to
Okay.
make 2. That would still only give you
Pay
3.
$1. Yeah. Capital.
Yeah.
Capital.
Yeah.
but you have to have more
Um,
than he has there.
Right. Nice
Oh,
try.
yeah.
Nice try.
I'm going
Good catch,
to.
Trevor. Good catch.
That's unlike me.
Can you deploy them to multiple wards?
Yes.
You can.
Yes.
Okay, well that's kind of cool. Centerville.
Centerville's looking ripe for.
Wah, wah.
Beware
the butcher.
Beware the
I was
butcher.
AFK there for a second. I'm back.
Now, okay, bolster. if you move thugs, does that count as deploying them in a single round?
No,
No,
you're not deploying from a card.
they're just moving from
Yeah.
one place to another.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I guess I'm just gonna go to Northington.
Mm.
Welcome.
You don't seem too sure about that.
I'm not sure about that.
Because then you also
Well-
have the Ladybird
Well,
card next.
what's your home? Your home.
I'm
is
just
purple.
gonna go to Centerville. No, we're just gonna do that.
Isn't you- what is
That's
your
it.
home?
Then you got the next card too,
I
Jack.
get the Ladybird. Okay,
Oh,
so
and
here
then
I'm
you're-
gonna pay. Here I'm gonna pay the bribe.
That's smart.
And I'm gonna go to Northington and
Yeah.
take the ward spot there.
Oh,
Ward
I was
boss
expecting you to
spot.
take the boss spot.
Yeah, I thought you
instead.
were going to Centerville.
I thought
that.
so.
Nah,
Nope.
take it over.
Any
All
chance
right.
to Trevor?
My turn.
You're just beating on me, Dickie.
All right. So I'm gonna. What am I gonna do here?
What's the end game? I forget.
The end game is triggered when when this deck runs out.
So I'm gonna deploy all 4 of these to Centerville
There you
and
go.
replace my tallest stack. Now, for each one I deploy, am I allowed to do a scheme or only once per card?
From each card you deploy from, you can do
Okay.
one scheme.
So we're gonna launch a bomb. Wah. I have 2 bombs, but I can only play 1. We're gonna send that bomb to Northington.
Nice.
Bam.
That's
Bomber
where-
strikes.
Nice.
does some
What
good
is-
damage
what-
there.
What happened? Sorry, can you
So,
review that?
Trevor, you lose one, and then I lose one in
So
Northington.
to remove one of every rival's thugs. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm getting mixed up with the paying and the actual
Yeah.
bombing.
But the copper's fine.
The copper stays, yeah.
That's okay. Makes me a net 0 in my home territory. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
As I just lost my gang boss, ward boss.
All right, so now Evan, you've got 1 to deploy
Okay, where would I deploy him to?
from that card here.
To
So you can. Oh, where'd that card go?
I don't know.
Is it the butcher?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
the butcher.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's put that.
Either Centerville or Northington.
Okay.
Yeah.
I cannot go to Northington because the guy is there. I will go.
Welcome to Centerville.
Welcome.
You
Population
come to
mayor
Northington.
slash-
Everybody
mayor
wants to come
slash
to
bomb.
Northington.
All right, next Southtown, we've got a copper coming to Southtown, and then we
Yeah,
start
yeah.
with Trevor.
Going down to Southtown.
Have ourselves time.
Well,
Howdy ho.
since Jack was such a dick, I think I'll repay this favor. I think 2 goes to 4,
Okay.
right?
If you pay 2 of that resource, you have to pay 1 each time you do it.
Wait,
I
wait,
only
wait.
have 1 bomb.
So
Where
to
is
turn
that?
1 to 2, you pay.
You have to pay
every
capital.
round.
He's doing the bomb for 2 to 4.
Oh, I thought it was 1 bomb for 2.
Are you going to Southtown or
No.
Eastwood?
Yeah, South
Yeah, no, you're right. It's 1 bomb to turn 2 into 4. That's right.
If you're going to Southtown.
Oh, I'm going to Southtown.
Okay, cool.
No,
You put
no,
it in
I don't know.
Eastwood.
I don't know where I'm going.
This is
Oh,
South.
so if I go to this, I have to do that. Oh, okay, that's fine. What have these got there? 3, so I'd still be able to do it.
Yeah, you take the boss
Yeah.
spot.
You would take it over.
Oh,
Boss it up.
dude.
So that, and then 2 more. I was just kidding. I wasn't really attacking you, Jack.
2 more from
I
the
was trying to
back.
actually
Okay.
make a good play for once.
Seems like a good play to me.
That's rude.
This is the best I got. That's rude. Have you been watching the game?
That's rude.
They've been killing me.
Perfect.
Everybody.
No.
And then Evan, you've got 1 more there.
And I have to, what do I do with this? Just goes back in the bag?
Back to the infinity bag.
Yeah,
Back in
that's
the
fine.
bag. Okay.
And then.
So Evan, where did you deploy from earlier? Where did you deploy to earlier?
I deployed to Southtown.
Okay,
Right? No, Centerville. Centerville.
No, he came to Centerville.
I went to
Okay.
Centerville.
cool.
So now No.
So-
Eastwick.
Am I right that there's no ward boss in their own ward?
I'm in my own
No.
board.
When I'm deploying in
Evan is.
East, huh?
Yes, I think there are 3 actually.
What's
Is
that?
it- Oh, right. Sorry. Nothing. Sorry.
When I deploy in Eastwick,
Yep.
do I look at this, or is it
Yes.
just from this card? If I'm going to Southtown, it's this one.
So think of it like a flow here. You're going here, following the arrow here, down through this token. So yeah, the token applies to the ward. that it's-
I pay it,
Yes, that's it.
and then
And
oh
this
no,
this is Trevor first, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
because all 5 of these are going to show up in Eastwick at the same time, right? Even though we're doing
In the
one
same
card at a
rounds.
time.
In
Is
a
all that
single round.
matters.
Yep.
And it looks like this arrow ends up in the red area, not the yellow, right? The yellow's not an option.
Correct. It's going to wrap
Vista.
around to Westchester.
Vista,
Okay.
Vista.
And what is that? Most, second,
Known
third.
for its
most.
delicious, tangy sauce. Westchester.
Westchester sauce.
I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. But if I go that way, then I get to use this, right?
Yep. If you
Correct.
go to Westchester.
Okay, so I can change 1 to 2. Do I have a dollar? Sorry,
do.
capital.
Mhm.
And the other one is crown. I can do 1 to 2, so it's the same thing.
Mhm.
So it honestly just depends where I want to go. Okay.
Mhm.
I have nothing in Eastwick, and I have nothing down there, but this will pay even if like anybody that has 1 to 3, it'll
Yeah.
pay
Correct.
1.
Correct.
Okay. Let's
And
do it down.
Westchester is most. Yeah.
Let's do it down here. So that's 2 if I pay my crown, which I will.
Yep. Just put it
Or
on.
sorry,
top.
not my. Is that my crown? No, it's my money because it's
Yeah.
the red one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Perfect. And then Evan, you can finish us off here.
Oh, yep. Eastwick. Eastwick.
Boom, boom, boom. Are
Mm.
you doing? Are you using a crown?
Eastwick.
Oh no, you don't have a crown anymore. Okay.
I control.
5 guys on a single move. That's brutal.
That's good.
No, was it 5 though?
Yeah.
Because you already had some here,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah,
But it's
No,
all in
they
the
don't
same
count.
round.
It's all in the same round.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, it's the same round. It's not from the same card.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's do this.
I had that wrong.
And all of these
East-
get replaced, right?
All of them. Yep. Thank you. And then
Does it shuffle automatically or?
yes. Yes.
Okay.
And it's only when this deck is empty that the game is over.
When that deck empties, that triggers the final round. Then we'll do one final round by populating it with these cards.
Okay.
Next
and
round will probably be
Oh,
the
I'm
final round.
shuffling everything.
I think
Okay, there.
is it my turn?
The inspector's going to Southtown.
You
Everybody.
get the hat, Trevor.
Okay, so I roll. Is that right?
I
High
roll.
roller. Do
If
it,
you want
do
to,
it, do
yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Oh, you're just being roller for everybody? Okay.
I roll up.
I guess I'd be stupid not to take the first spot.
Couple of brawls out there. Rat and Key.
Which one
Sorry.
do I want?
Just being fair.
Mm-mm. Not fair when you're not first.
Right.
Not fair.
Oh, a 3 brawl. Wow.
Right? You better look out, everybody.
Where is, I can't read, I'm too far out. Hold on. Okay. That and that.
Yep. Good move. All right, Jack.
Run home, Jack.
Let's see. I'm going to. I want to. What do I want to do? I guess I'll take a key
Mhm.
and I'll go in the Protestant church.
Why would you want a key? It's so weird.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. Edit.
Trying to stray.
So this rat at the bottom of the brawl. Brawl means what?
It goes with your dice. So if you have rats, that's an extra rat for your dice.
These
Okay.
two thugs.
So rats or keys right now is good because this is the last card. Yeah. Okay.
How come you're placing 2 there? Did you have?
Because I played a card.
Oh, you lucky gambler, you.
Yeah.
Does that make it my turn?
It does.
We're gonna take a hat, and I will join you at
Oh.
St. Peter's Church.
Delightful.
Copper.
Get a copper
You
with.
guys are causing too much of a ruckus over there, so here comes the copper.
Delightful.
Nice.
What does this card mean, Dickie?
And Wes, you get a second choice now.
Yes, I do. What am I gonna do?
Or do you want to tell me later?
Yeah, you can see in the top left corner what it does, basically.
I am going to grab this
wild. Makes it wild.
key.
Gotcha.
Or do I want to grab a rat? Actually, you know what? I will grab the rat. I'm going to grab the rat, but I'm going to place a bomb token instead of. Don't know why I'd place a bomb token. I mean, it's a good choice.
Interesting.
I
I
really should change
will
my name.
I can't imagine why I
grab
would do
a key and bomb token. Also, no idea why.
These schemes get fun towards the end of the game.
Very schemy.
Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Me. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play my gambler card so I can re-roll all these dice.
Yep.
Sweet.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Chaos. Man, just not what I wanted at all.
Yeah,
Well,
me either.
You can only play 1 card per turn, Dickie.
Correct.
Bummer. I mean, that's fine. Here,
Is
I'm
that
gonna
including
take,
the brawl?
I'm gonna
Or
take
is-
this and I'm gonna put this guy over here.
Is that including the brawl, Dickie, or is that separate?
That's separate.
Okay.
During the
it.
dice selection process, each time you select a die, you can play 1 tactics card.
Okay, so if I do I want to do that? Wait a sec. Probably not. Fred. Can I still use this one?
You can use any card in your hand that applies.
Okay. It just says to start your turn, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, this is your turn.
When it says your final dice from the pool, does that mean the dice you chose last?
Where do you see
On
that?
how to win brawls?
The dice that you have on your map for the turn.
Yeah, but the final dice?
There's some cards that let you change your dice or rotate your dice, I think.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Oh.
I'm gonna play this one, which is I can select a die already taken by a rival. So do I just change one of these to a rat?
You can just leave him that rat. Well, I guess you take it, don't you? Yeah. According to the language, you would take that.
And then he doesn't have a
Let's see.
A rat?
Select a die already taken by a rival. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about in the beginning of the game. You had said it copies it, but
Yeah, that's interesting. What do you guys think that should do?
taking
should
adds a
just-
whole different mechanic that
Yeah.
sabotages brawls. So
I think he should keep that, and I should just take a die and switch it to a
So
rat.
make a copy of it, basically.
Yeah,
I think I would say take his and replace it with one of the available dice.
which is this? Yeah, okay.
Pickpocket.
What do you want, Dickie?
I don't know.
It depends if you want the card to sabotage brawls or not, because that's what that card will definitely do.
I don't think I do. That feels extra mean.
Because yeah, brawls seem significant to win, and if you
Him-
can sabotage someone's
He
brawl,
bombed
attacks-
me. He literally bombed me, and I'm taking a rat. And that seems extra mean.
I mean, it doesn't seem out of the spirit of the rest of the game to mess with brawls, but ultimately that's up to you.
Okay.
Don't mind my dog.
I mean, if you guys think that's how it should go, then I'm cool with taking the die.
I'm fine either way, but
I think I would actually agree with Evan. I'm not a big take that guy, but it seems like that is along the lines of the take that in the game.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
That's how the card reads. I would read that you steal it until you change the text on the card.
Okay.
So take his. Is that what I'm doing? Yeah. Okay.
Thief!
Take that.
Thief.
Yeah.
you stole
That's
my
a
Stealing from a
rat.
bomber.
I'm never playing with Trevor again.
Guess what, Trevor? There's a
Stole
bomb in
my
that rat.
All right. So that's that. We have a couple brawls to do. So let's do the one in Northington first. Go left to right.
Starting with Trevor if he wants to drop a card.
Yep.
This is gone over here. Is that right?
Yep.
And
Holding.
I will play one.
Off to Jack.
No, I'm good.
Evan.
Keymaster
Evan
Evan.
I don't
has no
have-
cards.
I don't have any cards.
No.
Oh, I think Trevor's gonna take them both here. Oh my goodness. What am I gonna do? I am not competing.
Everything's coming up, Trevor.
Nope. Okay.
Perfect.
Yep. So he had 2 rats. And he wins that one.
Okay.
Nicely
separate.
done. Nicely done.
2 guys on there.
Yeah.
Now we're off to the key brawl.
Yep. Key brawl. Starting with Trevor again.
Sorry, where are we at?
We're doing this next brawl now.
Oh,
Key
I
brawl.
didn't even notice there was another brawl. Oh man.
We thought that's why you stole the key from Wes.
No,
Oh, he stole
he
the
stole
rat.
the
He
rat
stole
from
the
Never
rat.
stole a rat.
Oh, did you steal the rat? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Really like this card to have something on it now.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I hate that.
Well, I don't have any symbols on my card, so I won't play it.
Yeah, so just to fill you guys in, I've got one card in the deck there that apparently I forgot to put an icon on. So
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a wild card.
Guess who got it?
I think it doesn't hurt to have a wild card.
Oh, it's
Jack,
not
I-
wild. It's nothing.
Are you
I'm,
dropping a card, Jack?
No, I'm not going to play a card.
I'm not going to play a card. Wes can play 2 cards. And
I will play a card so that I'm tied with Jack and Evan.
and Evan
And Trevor.
Yeah.
and
So
Trevor.
if there's 4
Yeah.
of us tied in 3 spots, what happens?
So that is a good question. That is a
I
rare
think the
case.
cop comes
here.
out. Is that what it is?
We go in player order.
Yeah, that's what I had in a previous version.
Yeah.
So I get the shaft again. It's okay. It's okay.
I thought there was something about if they're more than the amount could hold that the cop came out or something.
That's if there's more.
More
No.
spaces than tied players, then a cop would come out.
But in this case, there's less spaces than tied players. So
Oh, okay.
I lost my rat and I lost my key.
Oh my
Wah,
gosh.
wah, wah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make a note to myself.
I
that
think we
need-
should. I think we should retcon and say that you can take your card back.
I don't think it matters at this point because it's not going to break the game.
Oh, okay.
I'm cool.
So just since this is a playtest thing, what do you guys think should happen in that case? Do you think it should go by turn order?
I mean, that
I th-
makes sense.
I think that makes sense.
I
yeah.
think turn order is the easiest resolution.
Yeah. Okay.
And the person just knows if they're last in turn order, they either have to win it outright or they're going to get.
Yeah. So in this case, I wouldn't have played my key, but
Right.
Yeah, you should.
It also
you should take
doesn't
it
matter
back.
to me. It doesn't
You
matter.
should take it.
I'll put it. Okay. I probably won't. use
All
it.
right.
you could always do it in reverse turn order.
What is
Because you
this?
have the snake draft precedent, so you can
That-
do that too.
What does
Yeah,
this
keep going,
mean for
yeah.
the next brawl? Does this
That would
mean
make
it
it
could be?
more.
Does
Sorry.
it mean it could be anything?
Yeah, for any brawl, when
wild.
you play that card, you can make it anything you want.
No, but this card is also indicated that you can have whatever's in that card in the brawl, isn't it? Or is it only this
No.
symbol?
No, this is a wild. So if you're participating in a brawl with a key on it, you could make that a key.
Yeah, I thought if this, like, let's say this card was up, I thought this brawl would apply to a key or coins. Is that wrong?
Why would you think that?
Yeah, I mean, you can use any suit to win the brawl. It's just that the brawl
just
card
that
is
that one
giving you a
helps.
free key to get you started, kind of.
I thought this card was giving you a free coin as well, like the top card on the discard pile.
Oh,
I don't know where I got
discard
that
pile
from.
Doesn't have any bearing.
Okay. Never mind.
All right. So we have let's see, 4 cards to resolve again. So we're gonna get the end of the game here pretty quick. First one, Westchester. Here comes a copper. And
Damn.
turn order is gonna be Evan first.
Okay, we're gonna go. How's that?
You can go to Westchester, Eastwick, or
Yeah.
you're doing pretty good with both of those.
Yeah.
How many you got there? 5, yeah.
Westchester.
And you can split those up, of course.
Yeah. And oh, Westchester and Eastwick.
All right.
Alrighty. So I am going to. Oh, that is not working out the way I wanted to. Whoops. All right. Where is this guy going to go? So this guy is going to go to Eastwick, but I can play a bomb.
Play a bomb.
And I'm going to drop that bomb in Westchester.
Ooh, dang.
Just took Evan's thug right back.
So what happens with
You
bomb
lose your
again?
guy there.
Everybody loses 1 from Westchester.
Except the coppers. How come you can't blow up coppers? Although that's good. I don't want the copper to be gone.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That'd be-
I went back and forth a little bit on that, but I kind of like having to deal with the copper.
Yeah, because he's going to
Yeah,
give -1 to whoever's there, right?
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
All right, so that one's done.
Mhm.
Let's go to the brawl. Trevor, put him wherever you want.
Trevor's making a
Yeah.
comeback. Look, he gets to
Yeah.
play 6
Well,
tokens
let's
this
just
time.
that
Yeah.
just change things up for me. So we got 2 here. I want 1 more there, and I guess maybe. Oh, what do I have? 5. So I really want another one there. I want 3 there. Can I put them there? Yeah, I can put them there. Do I have anything I can use? Where's my? What can I do with my hat? Nothing.
Nah.
Okay,
Keep it easy.
so yeah, I want that one there. I want those 2. Oh, those 2. I think I want them there. Do I have to put them in the same spot?
No.
No, you can split them up.
No.
All
All right.
right.
Good to go.
Yep.
All right. We're off to the Protestant church in Centerville, starting with Trevor.
We'll get you guys out of my boss spot.
Man. All right, so
Nice.
I'm gonna deploy to Centerville.
To Centerville. This starts a
and
new stack, right?
If you want to keep track of what you're doing this round, you might want to just put it next to your stack. If you have a plan for that, Jack. in the
Yeah.
end,
Oh,
it-
yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm gonna spend a bomb though to make one into two. So I'll just
Yep.
spend 2 guys here.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And that one's done. And now we're to the brawl in Eastwick.
Do I do mine first here?
That doesn't
It's not
leave.
full, so it
It's
doesn't
not
go
full.
anywhere.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Trevor.
I just
Trevor
need to
first.
know how many more things we've kind of got coming out. So these are
Yeah,
going to be
the next 3 are going to end it. So the next round is the last round.
next round is last round. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's 5 rounds normal because this is our 4th round now, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
I guess I better go there, and I can put that brawl on top of there because I put those ward boss chips there this turn.
This round, yes.
Okay.
The King of Northington.
Jack.
You're going to defend your turf, I think. We'll see.
We'll see. There's bombs coming in from every which way.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen a single bomb. You shouldn't be surprised.
No, I'm not.
Wes the bomber.
Jack, where are you going?
It's written on the table.
Sorry, did I have to? Did you just bomb somewhere? I was
No.
spaced out.
No,
Okay.
no.
All right,
just
I'm gonna
slide-
move
The
this
sliding
guy.
chips so I could see the place names. But
I'm
no
gonna
more
move
bombs.
my guy over to Westchester, and I'm gonna spend. No, I'm not gonna spend anything. Oh wait, yeah, I am gonna spend. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spend my capital to bolster, and I'm gonna move a guy from over here to over here.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Evan, you got the last one there.
Well, brawl is gonna go. Well, that's a tough call. Points based on how many dudes you've got over there.
Yeah, and you got 6 there right now.
I'm
What
gonna go
happens
like,
if you tie in this green sector for the
I go like
third?
this.
Yeah,
And,
I'll explain that at the end if it happens.
and then I'm actually gonna light off a bomb here.
So I'm sorry, did you put that on your ward boss
Oops.
spot there?
There we go.
There you go. Cool.
And then we're gonna bomb.
Do it. Bomb, bomb, bomb.
I'm just gonna go over
bomb,
here.
bomb.
Is this a normal like distribution of coppers in a game, Dickie, or are there
Yeah.
usually more?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep the cops out of Centerville.
Boom.
All
I don't
right.
think I've been on a spot that every bomb's gone off. I've been on that spot.
All right. Here is the final.
That may not be true.
Okay, nice.
And we're going to take the other one from this extras deck.
Oh, great.
Oh, it's in a
Okay.
brawl.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Nice. That's pretty
Now,
fun.
are there
So-
special cards in the extras deck, or are they just leftovers from the original distribution?
They're leftovers. Yep.
Okay, so there's nothing special about them for the last round.
No. But again, the rule is different from deploying from these. Do you guys remember what that is?
They're all gonna deploy.
If the card is not full, if the card is full, we deploy as normal. If the card is not full, you get to deploy 1 thug from that card. Even if you
Oh.
have 2, you only get to deploy 1.
Okay,
let's
cool.
See where the inspector is. He's going to be in Northington. And you're off, Jack.
Okay.
I believe. Oh, Jack's first last. Okay.
I'm
Weird.
first. Yeah. I'm going
Didn't
I
you
thought
to
Trevor was
start-
first last time.
I thought so too.
Yeah, because
Trevor
we're on
was.
round 5.
So-
yeah, isn't it?
It makes sense that Jack was first because
So
we're on
me,
round
Evan, Wes,
Yeah.
Trevor.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so you just get to go first twice. Okay,
Yeah.
5.
that's fine.
He didn't go first last time.
I can
Trevor
hear the writing now.
Well, there's
Oh,
5
well.
rounds and there's 4 players.
I see
Jack
what
gets to
you-
go
I see
first
what you-
twice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
However, it's kind of the worst position because it's snake draft. So I'm going to
Trevor
end up
isn't.
with
To go last
I'm going
twice.
to end up. I actually kind of don't like that I have to be first twice.
The snake draft does throw a wrench in it.
Yeah, that's.
If you
kinda
had any
not good.
if you had any first cards come out,
Then
it
it
would have
really
been a big
matters.
advantage, but
Yeah.
you did not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
That's when
Sorry,
it
I'm taking
seems
a
to
while. I'm just
matter.
looking at this.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. I think I'm gonna take. Oh, that's
Oh.
interesting.
Oh.
When do you
Oh.
draw cards?
You
haven't
have to
drawn-
choose to. You have to choose to.
You
You
take a
Okay.
die and then draw 2 cards.
take a die and spend it to draw 2 cards. Yeah.
Okay, that's the only time that you get
Yeah.
cards. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something. All right. Well, I think. I guess
2
I'm
brawls
going
out there.
to. Yeah, there are. Man.
There's no coins.
Right? Snow coins.
No coins.
No coins. I'm gonna take.
That's a surprise.
I'm gonna take a mustache and I'm
Ah,
gonna place a guy right
Uh-huh.
about here.
yeah.
But then
Why?
I'm
Wonder why.
but then I'm gonna play Vagrant. Is
Yeah.
that what I want to do? Sure, why not?
Mm.
Oh no, sorry. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Show me that card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Let me
know.
see that.
It's dumb.
Rewind.
Adjacent. Yeah, that's it. That's my.
Well. Well then. I will take a mustache. Well, that's a mustache. And I will make a bomb.
Mm. Interesting.
Well.
Not that I would ever do.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. I wouldn't even be able to use the bomb unless I'm bringing a worker down, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So, but you, as long as you have 1 on any card, you're going to bring 1 down.
Or you can
Night-
bomb something. It's
Night,
always fun to
DK,
bomb
thanks for-
something.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Let's TK out of here.
Yeah, TK is heading to
Yeah.
bed.
Good night.
See you, TK.
I am going to take a interesting choices here. I don't want a mustache though, so I'm gonna take a key and drop this up yonder.
Where is that?
Game designers love it when testers say interesting choices. Huh?
Instead of taking this bomb, I'm going to draw 2 cards.
Okay.
Luck of the draw. Trevor gets to go twice.
When can I use my crown? Is it
When you-
any time?
When you take a token and bring it down from a card.
When you deploy from a card.
Whenever
that's
I deploy.
when you do a
Okay.
scheme. Yeah.
So, or what about the movement when I'm actually same thing?
Yeah. When you deploy from a card, you can pick from one of these 3 schemes to do, and you just pay the thing and do it.
Oh, it's the token that you're bringing down. You're not actually moving something from one ward to another
Oh
ward.
yeah. The scheme is to move a thug from one ward to another. Yes. So if you use that scheme, you can move any thug on the map to any other ward on the map.
And I do it while I'm bringing my, like, as I'm about to bring a token down, that indicates it's my turn to do that.
Yes. If you're deploying from a card, you get the opportunity to do a scheme.
Okay. Gotcha. So where do I want to go? Probably there. Can I get there? No. And then that would also be good. Can I get there? Yes. What do I have?
It's fun to see players in the final round here. It just gets really thinky and mathy. People are like, okay, well, where do I need to go?
What am I doing? What
Where
am I
am I?
supposed to do? How do I win?
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
can't win
take-
here.
That's 4. And
Make
1
poor
is
choices.
5. So I need 6 on here to make 2 points and 2 points. So I need one more to make another 2 points, right?
But remember, there's a copper there that's going to take one away.
Oh, right. Okay, so I need 2 then. All right. Probably should just give up on that one. And I can't do anything with these. And okay, so I need to know what happens in the event of a tie for the 1 point.
Sure. So the directions say if a tie occurs in a ward where most comes into play. Now this one isn't a most situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just if you get that many, you get that many victory points.
Okay,
But
so this one, for example.
yeah, this one, if a tie occurs in a ward where most comes into play, add that reward to the next highest, divide the number equally among the tied gangs, and round up. So if there's a
So we
tie
would each
for
get
second
one.
and third, you would each get 2 actually. In this
But if we're both tied for third, and there's 1 point for third,
you would both get 1.
you'd both get 1. Okay. So can I get there? Yes, I could get there if I do that. And I have 2. Am I the last person to play? I get the double sneak.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
Double sneak.
Double sneak. So that's not going to help me.
And Trevor, you know what? I think this is only fair. If you want to turn in that card and draw another one, just so you can have an icon to use.
Well, I might use the card. It's
Okay.
actually the one time in the game when I could actually maybe use the card.
Perfect.
But
I don't feel so bad then.
But it does kind of suck that I don't know if it should be good for the brawl or not. But that's okay. I will deal with that later. I'll cry myself to sleep. Yeah.
Again.
As you deserve.
Exactly.
Crap. Okay, so this one is third most. I guess I should try and get there, which is that's a rat or a key, and then I want to get. I'm immune
all
from
my
that.
rage. A rat with me.
Okay,
Rat
I'm gonna
with the key.
take a rat. What is the bottom thing? No, I don't have either of those. So I will take a rat, and I will put him on Centerville because I mean, who doesn't want to go there? And then I will play the gambler. See, nothing. And I will re-roll these.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, those icons. The whole brawl system is a new development, so I forgot to put one on that card.
Yeah.
And I got one of what I needed. It's pretty interesting. So I will take the bottle, and I have no idea if this is a good idea or not, but I'm doing that.
I heard they
Okay.
always take.
All right, cool. Back to Wes.
Me?
Oh,
I will take the coins and place a bomb.
Nice.
Did you say you're placing a bomb
On my board.
Yeah.
What else would I do? Come on.
come on
Building
He's
now.
the
bomb.
bomber.
I'm
He's
gonna
consistent.
take
He chose a
um,
strategy and
the
stuck with it.
Musta. Well, hold on now. Hold on
I'm
now.
nothing if not committed to the utter
I said,
destruction of
hold
whatever this
on.
imaginary thing is called.
I'm going to use the
hold on.
pickpocket to take 2 dice.
Nice.
What?
I'm going to take a mustache, which I'm going to use to draw 2 cards.
Nice.
And then I'm going to take.
I didn't follow that. What is the mustache to follow to draw 2 cards?
Yeah, read the pickpocket.
Anytime you take a die, you can use that die to draw 2 cards instead of placing out a token.
I think he was talking about the pickpocket ability.
Oh,
On your
I see.
turn, select 2 dice instead of 1.
I see.
Oh, that was a free play because you played a card that doesn't cost you to play anything, and then the draw 2 cards was your actual
Yeah.
turn. Okay, I got you.
And then I'd take the. Of course, I will use.
Yeah. Bummer.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a
Well,
power move.
Yeah. I
Was it
can't-
though?
Was.
Can't
What?
do anything. So I will take a key and do nothing with it. I will take. What am I gonna do with it? I guess I could take a resource. Do I want to do that though? I don't think so. I guess I'll take 2 cards and just hope for the best here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Mhm.
So that phase is done, and now we're gonna do a couple brawls, starting with the one in Westchester.
Wait, since I took 2 cards, can I immediately play one?
You can, yes.
Mhm.
I could do this.
I
Take
see
the
what you're doing.
pickpocket.
Yeah,
You've already
Take a-
selected your
but
dice.
you've already taken a die, yeah, right?
Oh,
On
okay.
your turn,
That's
you
only
select
when
die.
you.
Yes.
Oh man,
Yeah.
did I play this wrong?
Okay, never mind. I can't.
All right.
Anyway,
so the
so-
Westchester brawl.
I just realized how I should have played that round.
Westchester Brawl.
So Jack,
what?
you get to choose if you want to drop a card for this coin brawl.
I do.
Mm.
All right.
And then
Evan, you
Evan,
got a card you want to play?
I do.
I bet you it's a coin.
You would never know what I might do.
I will know.
There's no way to know.
Wes?
yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Flip your card.
Jack's like, wait, you were playing cards too? Wait.
What?
Yeah.
Everybody gets to play cards?
I just, never mind. I was just slow.
And
Trevor
I
has no
can't,
cards.
I can't
Alright.
do anything.
Let's see him.
2 coins.
2
I
coins.
have one
Ye-
coin.
Two
One
coins.
coin, everyone.
All right. So split it. Split it and add a copper.
How do you
No,
have 2 coins,
Well,
Jack?
no, Wes
No,
is the winner. He
Wes
has
is
3
the
of a
winner.
kind.
He's
I've
got
got 2 coins.
he's got 2
Oh,
got
coins.
nothing.
3. I see.
Three
I see.
coins.
Three. Yeah.
Yep.
So I get to
didn't
fill
look
the
at your die.
brawl.
Nice. That's a big one.
Hello.
Yep.
Started the game with a brawl, and the game.
There you
That's a big one.
Don't mess with the bomber.
go.
All right. So we got another 3-space brawl here with mustaches, starting with Jack.
Are cards worth
Okay,
anything at the
play
end of the
2.
game?
Uh-oh. Cards?
Cards are
Yeah.
worth.
They're
You
not.
know, I'll play 3.
Exactly.
Whoa, Jack's all in.
Exactly.
It's all bluffs. He's bluffing.
I'm all in too. Let's do this.
There you go.
I'm all in. I'm all in the whole
Sweet.
time.
I've got
Yeah,
a full
Oh, he
house.
does have
Jack's got
mustaches.
3 mustaches.
I've got a
4
full house.
stash.
Four
Four
stashes.
I
What, you've
2
got
hats
4
and a key.
mustaches?
Total. And
Well,
so
I've
do
got
you.
3 plus this
Yeah.
one.
Plus
Oh,
that
yeah,
one's
yeah.
4.
You guys share them.
I've got 4 mustaches and no. I've got 2 keys. That's a full house, which is
That is
better
a full house. That's in
than
the
4
rule.
of a
Yeah.
kind.
Oh.
Do you
No,
have
it's
a
less,
full house?
it's less than
No,
4.
Yeah.
four of a kind is better.
I've got 4 of a kind and 2 keys.
Oh, so you have a really full
Yeah, but
house.
you can't play 6 cards. It's a
No.
poker hand.
It's a poker hand.
It's just 5.
You could play the full house though and lose.
I don't like
Yeah.
sharing it. That feels bad. I was like, look, I've got an uber full house. Doesn't matter. All right, that's fine.
Well, I think
Look,
how is it
all
shared?
red
I get the
cards.
extra piece because of turn order.
No, the
I
copper
think-
goes the extra.
the
Yeah.
copper goes.
Copper.
Nice
Yeah.
try.
Nice try though, Jack. Yeah.
I had the
yeah,
better
slip one in there.
hand.
And how do you tell where the copper goes then?
Copper always goes straight down to the.
Okay.
We go to Eastwick in this
Eastwick.
case. All right. So this is
Cap.
the final round. So let's deploy from this brawl. Go for it, Wes.
All right. As my first deployment, I'm going to, and I can go anywhere I want. Is that right?
Anywhere you want.
Anywhere you want to.
You can even make more
Where you
bombs.
place it.
If it goes somewhere, am I allowed to use the ability under the card there? Like these tiles?
No, you bypass them if you're on a brawl.
Wow. Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
You
He wants
bypass the
10.
inspector too, so
He
it's
wants
kind
10 thugs.
So let's start by going to Westchester and dropping a bomb.
Oh,
There's a bomb in Westchester, folks.
Hey,
That's not good for me.
No.
It's the third bomb to go
Nice.
off in Westchester. You'd think I'd know to get the heck out of there.
All right.
That place is dangerous, man.
Really
is.
dangerous.
And then, so I can move this somewhere else.
Yep.
I
I mean, you can put it in Westchester too if you want, of course.
could,
Whoa.
but I can get 2 points if I drop the other two over here. So we're
But you don't. You're not going to get anything for this Westchester because the cop's going to take them out.
yes, I could drop one more there.
Yeah.
For 2 points, yeah.
Yep. You would have second most, yeah.
Potentially.
So
I'll
it's
do that.
It's a net similar, but
Actually,
you
you
have
know what?
another.
I'm gonna put both of them there just in case
Whoa.
somebody tries to play in there. We'll leave
Whoa.
Southtown empty because I have plans for Southtown.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Northington, both of those get deployed.
Who's first player?
Centerville. Because I can't go to Northington and Westchester. He'll just get arrested.
Yeah.
Westchester's no good. Centerville. Oh, that's ugly. I don't see any reason to go there or there. I guess I'm going to Centerville.
What are you doing in Centerville?
That'll get you a point.
Yeah, at the moment until the bomb goes off. And then I can also move. I can also pay my crown, right?
Yeah.
Who goes first with this one? Is it Evan or me?
Me.
Evan.
I'll wait.
You'll
See
wait.
what
Okay.
Evan does.
All right.
Well, let's see. What's happening in Centerville?
It's
Interesting.
my land. What are you doing in my land?
Is my land. Is land
Your land.
It's the center
is
of
your land.
center of activity.
Bonk.
You can deploy all those. So you got one more too.
Yep.
Do they all have to go to the same spot, or can you split them when you have more than two on a card like that?
You can split them.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was just for the brawl that you could split them. Cool.
All right, Trevor.
So right now I'm getting nothing in here.
Yep.
5. That's gonna bring it down to 4.
Calm down.
Oh, I forgot you
Okay.
can go anywhere from a brawl.
I'll do
Wild brawl.
I guess that doesn't matter though.
this, and I'm also gonna do my crown at the same
Wait.
time
How do you bring him to Southtown?
because he was here.
Yeah, you can go this direction.
And then I'm gonna bring this guy.
No, it's either Centerville or Southtown.
Yeah,
You
That's
put
where I
it in
went.
Southtown.
Oh.
and then you literally said,
I did
"How
it
did
wrong.
he get to Southtown?"
I did it wrong. I put a guy in Eastwick. I was looking at the wrong.
Oh, you want to go?
I was looking at the wrong arrow.
You go.
So I would have had to do Southtown. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
I don't
Okay,
think
sorry.
it affects me in any way, shape,
No,
or
I don't think so.
form. And then I have nothing for this one, right?
Right.
Currently, I don't
Yeah.
think I have anything for that.
That's
So that's what my crown is going to do, is move that guy down there.
Nice.
And
All right.
then throw your bomb and kill me.
Parker's Bridge, both of those blue and green get deployed.
Okay.
Who goes first? Jack goes first.
Yes.
Yeah, I will go to Eastwick.
Oh, wait. I didn't have to move that guy because I'm the ward boss. So that cop doesn't affect me.
That's correct.
So actually, can I
but-
take that
But a
back
bomb.
for a second?
But you're gonna get 4-2. Yeah, you already got your 6
It's
here.
useless. So I would have put him over here.
Okay.
I am going to
I think. I don't know. It doesn't matter what I do. It's all the same.
Southtown or Eastwick.
This depends where the bomb goes off.
So if I take this guy down to Southtown, I have 2 chips. I can pay capital to add 2 more chips. Is that right?
Yeah, you put 2 chips there.
Yeah.
From that
Well, I
card?
put 1 chip there, and I already had 1 chip there.
No, you have to deploy them from the same card to do that.
Oh, that's where things get confusing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I only had 1 there. This was up on the card, and now I got to change my strategy because I did not realize that. 5, 2. I have 4, 5, 6. So what am I gonna do? Uptown or Eastwick? Eastwick. Oh yeah, so those abilities are useless for both of those places. Okay. Yes, we'll go to Eastwick, and then I will pay a crown to send this copper.
Get out of here, Kappa.
Screw it. You know what? I'll just drop a bomb instead because I can. Might as well finish it off. Where's the bomb
Yep.
gonna go? The bomb doesn't have any impact by go. Oh yeah, let's drop the bomb in Southtown.
Oh,
Uptown.
that hurts Trevor big time.
Of course, he's always bombed me.
It makes the most sense
That's 2 points.
because the cop's gonna take you guys out too. So
Take 1 away, Trevor.
Awesome.
Okay. And then I'll deploy a guy to Eastwick.
Yeah, the copper is going to go to Eastwick.
Okay. And I will go to.
All right. Awesome. So let's do final scoring. That is it.
Okay.
So
we
we'll
take off where the coppers are.
Yeah, let's do 1 ward at a time. I think I've found that that's the best way to do it. So let's start in the first ward in Westchester. Yep, do your scores there.
So I've got 4.
And
I have 2.
Evan, you're immune to the effect of the copper there because you're the ward boss, just so you know. So
Yep.
So it doesn't really matter.
So he
Cool.
gets 2 extra point or an extra point for.
You get 1 extra point for being the ward boss
Oh,
and
okay,
2
great.
extra points for defending your turf.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Oh my
So
guy,
you're-
yeah. Okay,
Yes.
great.
Cool. So now we'll go to Northington.
I get
I lose my
4.
chip.
4 points if you have 5.
I
or
lose
more
a guy.
cards.
So I get my 4. I get an extra point is 5, and 2 for defending is 7.
So let's see, you got 4 plus 2 plus 1. Yep, exactly.
Nice.
That's pretty much all the points.
Yeah. Let's see, Centerville.
Centerville.
I think I have 7, right? 5 plus the 2 bonus points.
I see 4 plus 2 is 6
5 guys here.
in Centerville.
Yeah, the 5
But
blue guys.
I have 6, so I still have the most.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Green has 6.
Yeah, no. I have 5 plus 2 for being second most.
You don't get points for the number of chips there, though.
No,
You get 2.
you just get 2 points
For
for
being
having
there.
second most.
Oh, you don't get points for every one of your guys?
No.
No.
So
I get.
So I get.
Jack's got 30 points.
I get 1 point.
And I get 7 points for that spot. Is that right?
4 plus 2 plus 1. Yep.
Okay.
And then Evan gets 2. Is that no?
No, I got-
Jack would have gotten
Jack
2.
got the 2,
I
and
got
you
2.
have the 1.
and I got 1. Yep.
All right, Southtown.
My guy gets killed by a cop.
My guy gets killed by a cop.
My guy does not get killed by cops. He only gets killed by bombs.
I get 2 points.
I get 2. Should have been 4.
2. Yeah.
Oh, plus 1.
2 plus 1 is 3. Yeah.
2 plus 1 is 3.
I got it.
And Eastwick
Uh,
Eastwick
got 1 copper.
killed by a bomb. only get
So
one.
Oh,
I've
so
got
I'm out. Oh, I get one left. So me and Jack, or who's
I
green?
get 2 points.
I took mine off already.
I get
Oh,
4
did you?
points
I
plus
had
I'm
two
the
there.
boss.
I did not.
That's
take mine off
5
yet.
points. Is that correct?
Let's see, 6, and then you've got total of 7.
Yeah.
Go.
So 4 plus 1 is
Go on.
5.
And we both get 1. Is that right, Wes?
Yeah, I got mine already.
Yep.
Oh. Oh, I'll just go right to 20.
Okay, and then let's see the last couple of things here. Okay, so score for leftover resources. If you have from 1 to 3 left, you get 1 point. So Wes is going to get 1 point for having 1
Nice.
left.
Nice.
Mm,
Come back and join me, you little bomber, you.
And that's it.
Yeah.
nice.
Nice.
Evan, congratulations.
Well done.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Cool. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the test. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks,
you
Dickie.
playing. So how do you do this now? Do you do a feedback?
Yeah,
or-
yeah. We just do rounds of feedback.
Okay.
7 hours of feedback and
Yep.
you'll be ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
we
it.
usually do feedback for about as long as we played, so we'll be about 2 more hours here.
Who wants
It's
to go first?
funny because it's true.
It is true. Who's going first?
Well, I know Evan wants to go last,
I
and if
always
I go first, I'll probably talk less. So,
Perfect.
I'll
for
I can lead off if you'd
Yeah.
like.
Okay.
oh, yeah, let's lead off with the positive.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I love it. It's great. Don't change anything. Next.
Yeah.
No, I think this is great, Dickie. I like I like area control. I think it's a fun genre. I like the take that in this game. I think it's very thematic. Your gangs, right? Like fighting for the area control in a city. Thematically, your your theme lends to the mechanics very well with the bolstering, bribing, blasting. You got the coppers. I pick up on the theme everywhere. I like the brawl concept. I like the landmarks and deploying, and the restrictions make for fun decision space.
Cool.
Yeah, so very interesting in that way. Like I feel like there's a lot of thought that goes into every move. It's not always obvious what your best move is, as evidenced by our play. So I think that that's fun. I like the symbols. Like I think that the symbols are just fun. They like put me in like, I don't know, is this Ireland or like is it who knows where it is, but like it puts me into like a mindset that like the theme is just very evocative. And the art and design art do a ton of favors to the mechanics. Make it easier to pick up. Yeah, like I said, I like the movement of restrictions. I like the idea that like not every time you play is going to be exactly the same. Even playing with the same group of people because of different goals and different wards, and because the asymmetric abilities aside from area control don't there's no like abilities associated with the characters, so that's kind of interesting. How the main player board is really where you need to look for what you need to do. I like that focus where you're not like constantly in some of these like midweight games, you're like referencing 3 things, right? You're like looking at like a player aid, and then you're looking at your player board, and then you're looking at the map trying to figure out what to do. But I like that you only need to look at the player map to decide what you want to do. You don't need to look at like 5 things. I think that that's a real positive for this game compared to other Euros, where you're like, okay, I can do this, but then on this track, and then there's this other track, and then there's this third track, and then there's this sideboard, and then there's also this player mat, and then there's the side pot with the player mat side pot. Like you don't have that.
I'm not clever enough to make a game like that.
Yeah, yeah. So I just like that. I like that you can look at the player board and get a sense for what's going on. Let's see. My game was terrible. I ended up with 4 points. I thought I was going to get more points. I was wrong. That's all I had.
You're too busy coloring, Jack. That was the problem.
I know.
Your
Yeah,
hat is just amazing.
That is
Thanks.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
Your hat's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I appreciate that, guys. Thanks a lot. That helps a lot. Yeah, no, I feel I feel like I didn't do great, but I still had fun playing, so that's a good sign.
Good.
Here are the areas where I felt like I feel like there's some constructive stuff I could say. One is
Yes, please.
the first time I played this game, brawling was just the numbers in the top right of the card,
Yeah,
right? And you
it
just
was
played for like the total.
it was much simpler. Yeah, basically, just so everybody else knows, the icons in the top left corner of the cards weren't there. You just had the numbers 1 through 5, and when the brawl came out, you just played a card from your hand. Whoever had the highest number or the lowest number. Actually, the brawls had on the card it said high or low. So
Yeah.
it said high, you played your highest card. Low, you played your lowest card, and that was it. I got some feedback saying that they wanted the people really liked the brawling part of the game, and they wanted it to be a little bit deeper than that. So that's why I came up with this this latest scheme.
Interesting.
Yeah. What do you feel about it, Jack?
I just feel I guess I felt that it was when you're not participating in a brawl, especially with 4 players, because I think the last time I played this game, I played 2-player.
Yeah.
I felt like in a 4-player game there was a ton of downtime. Part of that was the snake draft made for a lot of downtime, and I felt like as the person who went first twice, it was a really negative situation to have to go first twice because waiting out the snake draft and like having just dregs to pull from the dice was a bummer to start the game that way and end the game that way. So I felt like there was a ton of downtime with 4 players because of the snake draft and the brawling. If you weren't participating in a brawl, there just wasn't anything to do. You just kind of sat there and waited while people decided the brawl. But then also, if you're not deploying guys and there's brawling, man, you're waiting there a long time. So I had one moment in this game where I was just sitting there for like, I think it was like 12 minutes where I just didn't do anything.
Wow.
Because I was just watching people pick stuff, and then there was brawls and deployments I didn't get to be a part of, so I just didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And that was just a big feel bad moment for me. So
Sure.
I think like the in like the 2-player situation, that was fine because it was like, oh, there's just minimal downtime with the action selection. I feel like the brawling, the way it is, just requires a bit more calculating and slowed down play a little bit. I think I've seen poker as like a concept in a few Euros recently where it's like, oh, play the best poker hand. And I think that most gamers who are into like mid to heavyweight games would get poker. I've probably played poker, but it does take a little bit more to grok. Like even Evan and I at the end were like, wait, did I win this or did you win this? Or and it's like, no, you didn't win it because you can't play 6 cards in poker. I think that like it's just a bit much. I just felt like it slowed down the gameplay a little bit.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question on that, Jack?
Yeah.
How much, and I'm being serious, how much do you think having me in the game affected that? Being as like my turns were probably the longest out of everybody's.
Oh yeah, the Trevor tax.
Yeah.
I mean, it was there, but I don't think. I mean, I think you were more calculating on the like area control, more calculating on your deployments than on the like you know making the decisions and
I don't
dice
think he
selection.
slowed down the brawls.
Yeah, I don't think you slowed down the brawls.
Okay.
I think the brawls were taking time for everybody.
Just everything
when we were
else.
Involved. Let's see. The other thing, pickpocket. You get 2 dice. That's like a whole nother half a turn. That's a big, huge advantage compared to like Vagrant, which is like I had 2 Vagrant cards, tried to use them in 2 different situations and got beat to the punch on both of them. So I was like, oh man. So like pickpocket is just like having a whole other dice placement is a big deal, I think.
Yes. It is a little bit OP at this point.
Yeah. I think, man, I was felt the resources and cards were just hard to come by, but you just have to decide what to do. Wes had no problem with that. He just made a decision to go for resources, and it worked
He was
out.
blowing all his resources up.
Yeah, he was blowing him up. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know if that's necessarily a good or a bad thing. I just wrote down like starving for resources,
Yeah.
but I think that was more a gameplay decision than it was a mechanical problem. So
I feel the same way. It's interesting how this game came out in the end. I feel like almost everything you're trying to get in the game is hard. You know, like
yeah,
you don't have it's hard. You don't have many resources. You don't have enough cards. You don't get a lot of victory points. So when I thought about, okay, everything is hard to get, then I thought, okay, maybe that's all right. You know, but if one or two things were hard to get, then it's a problem. But I don't know if that seems out of balance in any way, let me know. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of enjoy the fact that everything seems like a struggle, you know?
yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily bad, and it's maybe thematic too. It sits with
The
like the
power
time
of
period or
scarcity.
something like that. There's definitely a scarcity mindset in the game for sure.
Yeah.
Even the fact that points are really lean, like you're battling for every point, is it, you know, it's consistent throughout.
Okay.
So I think the only thing I feel with that is maybe game time.
Hmm.
Given the struggle of the game, it's more. I think it would be more fun if it fits into an hour and a half rather than 2 hours. Because it's kind of like, man, we really scrape by for everything, but then you're like, geez, I'm scraping by for everything, and I ended the
Yeah.
game with
Yeah.
4 points. Like it's just kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
bummer.
Yeah.
Which can happen to some players. It won't happen to everybody. It won't happen to 3/4 of your players, but it might happen to one out of four. So let's see, what else do I have to say? Yeah, the struggle piece is good. Brawling, something about like speeding up turn play. One other thing was just opportunities for simplicity. One thing I think that the brawl does is like if you can reduce to just one symbol at the top of these cards, it'll make reading them faster. Because right now the way the brawl is, you have both like numbers and symbols. I think if you just had one on the card, that would help. Right now we just used the icons on the left. We didn't even really use the numbers at all.
The
Right.
number is only there to place the inspector.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
has no impact on the
Yeah.
brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the old system, the numbers had two purposes. It's place the inspector and used in brawls.
Right. Which I think I like that better.
So
I think if
the
you
old brawling system basically was.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I liked the old brawling system better. It just played faster, and I liked the double use of the symbols on the cards, which made the cards easier to read.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Cool.
let's see what else. Being behind, lack of catch-up mechanism. I said, I saw a couple of opportunities I could possibly catch up with blowing people up. Or basically what I would have to do is successfully deploy, and then use a scheme. But I'd have to pay resources to do that. It
Yeah.
just seems like a lot to pay for a catch-up mechanism. I was just kind of starving for it the last 2 rounds, where I'm like, ooh, I'm not even close. And
So
just didn't
something
feel like, man, what can I do?
Yeah, one thing I've been, I don't know, kind of hesitating on going towards is spending 1 die and getting 2 resources instead of
Mhm.
spending 1 and getting 1. I don't know if that would. I think it would. Looking at the result here, it might help because 3 of you had no resources at the end of the game. So maybe that's something I should test.
Yeah, definitely worth testing.
Yeah.
I did feel that it was restrictive. Like I said, though, restrictions are part of the design of the game. So, is it too restrictive? Maybe. There's the fact that none of us had any.
Yeah.
And also that was my primary catch-up mechanism, right? It would be like, oh, well, if I had resources, I could maybe do something that would get me a little bit ahead, but otherwise, nothing I could really do.
Yes.
Let's see. I think that is it, unless I'm forgetting something. Gambler changing dice.
We'll let you talk again later if it comes
Yeah.
to you.
Nope. I think that's it. Overall, thematic. Love the theme. I love the art. I love the area control aspect of the game. I like that I like the central struggle for space. Um, and I think it's just a really innovative way to do it with minimal componentry, like without, massive 3D printed minis or something, and still get that deep thematic feel. So I think good use of components, good like tie-in theme and mechanics, and like I said, I had fun. Even though it was a struggle and I ended up with 4 points at the end, I still had fun playing it. So that's a good sign to me.
Cool.
And yeah, just look forward to see what the next iteration is. If there was any like major note for me, it would just be like simplifying some of the movement pieces, like the snake draft piece plus the brawl with poker. I just felt like there was a little bit of additional like cognition there that slowed me down from playing the game.
Sure. Cool. I made a note
Yep.
of that. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Excellent feedback. Who wants to go next?
I can go next if you.
Yeah, please.
All right, Dickie, had a lot of fun. Again, like everybody else said, the art is fantastic. I give that a 5 out of 5. It's just a beautiful kind of wood grain style to look at, and very authentic. And I think that draws attention. Reminds me a bit of how Orleans has very game specific art. I haven't seen a game with this specific style, so I think you've got something unique going for you there.
Awesome.
So that was great to see. And even the names of the cities, like I don't know if they're based on real names, but it's very draws you in. Like I like the names. I like saying Southtown and Eastwick. It was just fun to get thematic that way.
Cool.
And even your gangs, you've got I noticed in your game description at the beginning, you said colorful gangs, and we're colorful gangs. So nice verbiage you used in the introduction.
By the way, I'll throw this in here real quick. There is a 5th gang, if I can unlock it, and you can see it is the all-girl gang, the Dower Dames.
Dower Dames.
Representation.
Nice.
There you go. Is there a reason every card has 5 people in a gang? Is that just for consistency, or?
Not really. That's I just let the artist run with it, and that's
let the artist do. That's what they went with. Cool.
Yeah.
A lot of
Nice.
rules to explain in the game. So when you do get this game created, just be very cautious with your rule book. We came across a lot of edge cases and a lot of situational things that could be hard for somebody just playing their first or second game to get into. So the rule book, whoever you have editing it, is going to have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, because there's like you said, there's simplicity to it after you get playing, but the complexity to learn it is certainly there.
Yes.
I played Magic for 25 years. My favorite part about Magic was drafting. So being able to draft dice and seeing what other people were picking was great. And just like in the snake draft, makes you think a little bit more about what you have to draft depending on where you're positioned in that route. And as Jack already mentioned, being first and having to go twice at the end, I think that might have been rough for him. So I don't know how to fix that. But I always liked the drafting mechanic, whether it's cards or dice. So multi-purpose tactics cards, I liked that, being able to think about what they said plus what the icon was. So when it came to brawling, I was paying attention to, do I want to use a card, or am I going to save that for a brawl? Because brawls were really important to the game, I think, in terms of trying to place a certain amount of tokens in one turn. The game was extremely interactive, so I never felt at any time that I was playing a solo game. I was definitely very involved, so I think you hit the nail there. We were always watching where each other's tokens were and what kind of dice we were drafting, or places we were going up top. So I felt that I was always involved with the other players. It was fun to plot and anticipate. Obviously, I had a very clear strategy, and so you could anticipate me playing a bomb, but you didn't always know where that bomb might go. Yes. And so it's fun to figure out where could I try to hurt my opponents the most and make them have to play elsewhere. It didn't win me the game, but I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, I liked watching you do that.
There was lots of doubt on the scheming rules, so I think some maybe some one-liner of rules text on the board itself saying schemes can be played when you deploy a token or something like that. I know having it in the rule book makes sense, but when something like that is so situational, where it can only happen at certain times, it might not hurt to have a little text underneath the word schemes or a little bar over top of your thing there that reminds us of when we are actually allowed to scheme.
Yeah. Yes.
Brawling. Have you played Dune Imperium?
I haven't.
So that Dune Imperium has a mechanic very similar where throughout the rounds, but the rounds are a little bit longer, you're kind of jockeying for position with the ability to play cards to boost it at the end. So it reminded me very much of Dune Imperium.
Okay.
If you get a chance to play that game, I think they do that mechanic really, really well.
Yeah. I'll check it out.
And the game has gotten all kinds of accolades. It puts us a step over Arnak because of that battling mechanic. And I think your mechanic is very, very similar, which is not a bad thing. Just kind of seeing how they do it and how they balanced it out might help.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
And yeah, I felt brawling would give somebody an edge, but even though I won 2 brawls flat out, it didn't win me the game. So either I didn't deploy very well or the brawls weren't a make or break situation in this game. You guys were talking about how to draft dice for extra things. So I thought maybe you could draft a die for 2 cards or 2 tokens or a card and a token. So it's only one action, but you get to pick any mix of those of token and cards. And that way the rule is simple, it's clear, and you get some choice as to what would benefit you the most that round.
I like that a lot.
I thought maybe having a city where it wasn't always about having the most. I don't know if you've tried that or if you have other tokens that have, you have to have 3 here to get this many points, but if you have 4, you get less points. And if you have 2, you get less points, like having an archway instead of always needing the most. That might introduce something sneaky about bombs or about moving the cop around to your own position just so you can get more points at game end. Might be a different way.
Let me just show you the rest of the tokens. There's only 4 more in the bag, and it's either a most situation or a specific number, as we had on the board there. We had some of each of those. So
like this one was a specific number, but it was still about getting the most. But if there was one where you had to have 3, and if you had 4, you actually got less points, then people might. Then
gotcha.
Not sure how that worked. Just playing around with point scoring mechanisms.
Yeah.
And if brawling did become a problem where somebody was kind of overtaking it by getting to place 3 tokens in a turn, maybe to reduce the worry about somebody overtaking a brawl, it could be that they get to place 1 token per participant. So if nobody else chose to brawl, I only get to place 1 token instead of having a landslide of 3 tokens. So just a option there. But I had a lot of fun playing. Even though I didn't win, I would definitely play it again, and I would try a different strategy next time. I mean, bombing was fun, but maybe next time I would try taking over 2 full cities instead of just wreaking havoc across the city. So,
yeah,
great work.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Wes. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Wes brought up a point that for me was really interesting. How you mentioned how much player interaction there is in this game. I think you're right that it has great player interaction in a lot of it. I think your some of your instincts have been to try to increase player interaction. And I just want to kind of affirm that I felt like there was really good interaction throughout, and I didn't feel like you were starving for that in any place. So like one area I felt like the brawl, like maybe players were saying like, oh man, I want to do more there. I didn't feel like there was a huge lull in interaction too much. I felt that like there was plenty of opportunity to brawl with each other, and that was a always fun experience.
Cool. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the schemes are a later addition, and that was exactly as you said. That was in an effort to get a little bit more interaction. So hopefully that works. Cool. Thank you, Wes. Evan, Trevor, who wants to go next?
Trevor, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's see. I love the art. when I first looked at it, I was like, wow,
Hmm.
that's amazing. It reminds me of like, to a degree, of like map games with like roads that you need to follow, like Letters to Whitechapel or Scotland Yard or something like that. But this is so much nicer. Like it's almost like when you zoom in on it, it almost looks like it's like a dollar bill type. You
Yeah.
know, it's
I mean, he really nailed what I asked for, and it's just so much crazy detail. I asked him
yeah,
to make a board that you really, really want to look closely at, almost in kind of a Where's Waldo kind of way, you know?
yeah,
Um, and he really, really nailed it. So yeah, I'm really happy with that.
Nice. He totally nailed that. I definitely think that. Like, I found myself like zooming in at times and be like, oh, there's like a little guy there.
Yeah. Little scenes behind all these tokens too, which are fun to look at. Yeah.
yeah. That's like, yeah, really, really nice art direction or art. I don't know how much direction.
I won't take too much credit. It's all him. His name is Rupert
Yeah.
Lee Jones. He's Rupert Lewis Jones. I think he's done some other games, but yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really nice. And then I know you do your graphic design, and I mean the two meld really nicely together.
Cool. Thank you.
I think like you essentially have card placeholders on the top, which could have been off the board, but you have this area that you're really controlling. But I never felt like I was like, oh, why is the area that we're controlling just so small in the rest of the area? But when you really think about it, like a lot of the area is taken up on the board just as like a neoprene mat or a card holder would be. But I I think the spacing and everything is just really super nice.
Cool. Thank you.
Um, as well as the rest, like the player boards and everything else, they just seem to really go nicely together. I love the fact that you've got custom dice, but they're also super simple. They're very clear. I can tell what I've rolled. I don't know if I know every single one is. So the coin would probably be the only one that I'm not right away. I know what that is.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, 1 out of 6, and it's still a very clear symbol. You're not getting it mixed up with anything else. So yeah, just a really good, clear, concise. Nothing kind of mixing in with anything.
Cool.
The only thing I will say on that is that, and I know you're kind of still figuring out the brawl stuff, but if you are keeping the number just for the inspector, you could potentially put it in the lower corner where it's not so important. So it doesn't look like you're competing with these two things. But I would change the color, because this is always going to point to Westchester. I would put it as that reddish brown color on the card for the 1, and the 2 is yellow, 3 is green, 4 is.
That's really a good idea. I like that.
Just in another intuitive piece. Let's see. The 1-for-1. I know you've been told to switch it because they don't. I'm not sure what your graphic before was, but this to me looks like you're going to be able to do something. In my mind, it needs to be an X or something. There's just nothing, whether it was blank or an X or whatever. But I know that you had something before and they told you to change it. So there might be differing polarizing sides on that one.
So let me ask you that. I kind of agree. It's weird that it's a graphic that basically means nothing happens. So what would you do then on the other tokens where you have a choice of nothing happens or pay to get the special thing like this?
Well, I would make that. You would use whatever graphic you use on here would also be on here. So, I mean, it wouldn't go, if this one went corner to corner, this one would just be smaller in the middle. Because obviously
you would repeat that X up there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think what I would do.
Or you
if
could
it,
leave it off completely. You
Yeah.
don't need the or. You could just have
Yeah.
pay this to do
Yep.
this,
Yeah, just
and
say
or an X. Because what's
Yeah.
the point of having an X or that?
Well,
It doesn't really make sense.
I worry that it would make people think that's the only thing you can do there. That's
that
your
you
only
have to do
choice.
it.
You
Yeah,
must
you just
pay.
need
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could even just literally put the word like optional bonus or something on the map, or somehow indicate with words like these are options. Sometimes there's an option, sometimes there isn't an option. But I
Well,
would just do one set of symbols for the bonus, and I wouldn't include this symbol.
I think I'm confused on what you mean, how you would get these two things confused if this was just not there.
I think that if nothing was there, then people would think that this second thing was their only option. They couldn't do 1 to 1. They could only pay to get 2 to 4. I think that might be.
Yeah. Like they have to pay capital to deploy
Yeah.
from that area.
Right. To deploy to that ward, they have to do that thing.
Oh, see, I wouldn't think that. This to me is a bonus that I'm paying, and otherwise everything I can just come down as the arrows say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow the arrow. Okay, I get to come down to the arrow. Oh, and I can do this cool thing, or nope, I can't because there's a big X. There's no cool thing this turn.
Yeah.
So to me, it's super clear if there was an X there, and there was no X, and it was just, well, on this one you got a cool thing you can do, but on this one you don't, this one you don't, and this one over here you do, and this one you don't. It would be clear to me, but that's I know you've had difficulty with it, so I don't know that it would be clear to other minds.
Yeah.
But you could, so one of the things when I'm coming up against that, I had a design partner recently from the
TDP.
TDP Facebook thing or Discord group. And he, when he first looked at my game, he said, okay, don't tell me anything about it. I just want to look at it. And I'm going to tell you what I think things do.
Yep, that's a great exercise.
And it was a great exercise because he was very, very, like, he took 10 minutes going through every component saying, okay, this is what I think this is going to do. And being willing to be totally wrong and go through it and just show me what somebody might think of what's going on in the game.
Yeah.
And so you could just show that to somebody, like explain like these arrows mean they come down and stuff, and get an essence from people. But you could also just show the game blank and say, hey, what do you think this would mean, this compared to this?
Yeah. And I have tested it both ways that you're talking about. I've tested it with a blank token and also with a symbol, and nothing satisfies everybody.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so this is kind of the clearest way. At one point I didn't have those numbers where it says 1 1 and 2 4. That seemed to help a little bit.
What if you had an arrow? What if there was just an arrow pointing down? So it was like, oh, you just keep going.
Well, because the arrows up on the cards, sometimes there's 3 of them, as you can see above that. So,
up here, but on here, this once you go to here, you have to go
filter through.
You have to go down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm curious about that, Dickie. When you've explained it to people, is it more frustrating to explain to them what the 1 to 1 symbol means, or is it more frustrating to tell them like, oh, this just means you don't do anything? Like which piece is harder to explain, I guess?
I've had to explain both.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know which is worse.
Yeah.
I think in my mind, when I see the iconography as the where the option is, where it's under where it says or, that needs something to compare it to in my brain. So that's why I said, okay, you can do this, or you can do this, and you can see exactly what the difference is, in number of tokens. So I don't know.
That's true.
That's how my brain sees it, but obviously it's not going to satisfy everybody.
Yeah.
My brain never satisfies anyone. So the first player thing with the draft and the dice was probably just the game we played, and I'm not sure how to mitigate this, if you even want to mitigate it. But Jack thought he was in a bad position going first twice.
Yeah.
And I thought I was in a bad position going last first.
Mhm.
And the reason for that is because of the cards that came out.
Yeah.
The way the cards came out, there was 2 first place ones, so I knew they were going to get eaten up right away.
Mhm.
Or even if somebody missed it, one of the other 2 people was going to grab it. I knew Jack would grab one, and he did. And then the other ones that were left were all in last, and I couldn't get the last one because now everybody's gotten on the first ones, and
Yeah.
now I can't do anything all the way back around again. So it was like a double bad. I
Yeah.
couldn't do the first, and I couldn't do the lasts, and somebody joined me on the all.
Mhm.
So I think I don't know, maybe it's fine, just the way that I play. I don't like take that, but not that that's take that. It's just another random thing in the game.
Yeah.
It would be kind of cool, and I don't know if it would break anything or how you would even do it. But if you could somehow claim order, like, hey, I got something I really want to do, I'm going to claim order right now because I want to do that.
That's
like,
interesting.
but I don't know what that would do. Maybe everybody would want to claim order, and like who speaks up first, and I don't know.
That is kind of interesting. I think I would rather do that, like pay to try to get the like position in dice selection order rather than spend my cards to brawl. Personally, because like when you lose a brawl, it's a bummer. But if you lose in the dice selection, that would also be a bummer. I don't know. I just think it's I think I might be more inclined to do that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out to give you some, not to make it more complex, but to give you some agency in those cards that can come out.
Yeah.
And
You're right. You're right that it does obviously depend on the cards that come out. And in every game, depending on the cards that get filled first or last, there's a variable number of rounds in every game. In this game, we ended up with 5. Sometimes there's 7 or 8 in a 4-player game. I think there was one round where we filled every card, right? I think we deployed from 5 cards, which is pretty rare. So that forced that quickened the game a lot, and brought down the number of rounds. But yeah, I don't know if there's a solution to that, but I do like what you're saying. I like the somehow getting the ability to reset the turn order however you want it, not necessarily go first, but maybe I want to go last, maybe I want to go fourth and get those 2 in a row. Yeah, that's interesting.
Because in our game, we got first cards came out on the first, and then when it passed to Evan, first cards came out again. None came out for me. I don't think. Maybe they did. I don't remember.
There's no way to know.
And and there's and Evan, I need you, when you do the video, you need to do a bombing compilation. Okay, just show Trevor getting blown up.
I'm definitely going to spend a lot of time editing.
Yeah, upload, done.
And done.
Let's see. Yeah,
that would be funny.
First, I might have to do it.
You'll have access to the video. So
yeah, there we go. Scoring for tokens have the least. This was just to riff off of what I think it was Wes. He was talking about these guys. Yeah, it would be neat to have one that was like 1, 2, 3 instead of 3, 2, 1, or like 1, 2, 4, so that it's like you're kind of fighting for that last. You really want the least amount, but then at the same time, if you have a cop in that, like cops could screw you up, bombs could screw you up. It it would make that, for what you have, even more interesting in a fighting over that way. That being said, I was not a big fan of the bombs. I am not. So we obviously have played games together before, but I am not a big fan of Take That. I think most people here probably know that. Wes might not, but I'm not a big fan of Take That.
Oh, I remember. It was a fun strategy, regardless.
In which you can target specific people. I think area control does that enough, and you have you have ways to send to multiple places. Like this one sends to 3 different places. This one is sending to potentially, if this one had an arrow this way, you could send 3 different cards to Centerville. So I think there's enough competition over the area control myself. Throwing in the ability to blow stuff up is just pushing it a little bit too far for me for area control to be able to have enough agency to feel like I have control over anything. And I don't know what it cost me in points. It probably wasn't that much. It was probably like 1 point here and 2 points here. So like I wouldn't have been where I would have wanted to get to. Maybe I might have got one in Centerville. I don't know. But obviously other people that got blown up, because I wasn't the only one on those spaces to get blown up. I was in those spaces every time, but I wasn't the only one to get blown up. There might have been one bomb that went off that didn't affect me. I'm not sure.
This reminds me of some feedback I got that really made me think hard and implement some of these things. And that was from a player who played this game and said, I really liked it, but after I got onto the map, there was nothing I could do. Like I got my guys onto the map, but then I couldn't do anything with them. They were stuck there the rest of the game. I want to be able to move them again, or manipulate what's already on the map somehow.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for the schemes. Now you can move coppers, you can move yourself from one word to another, you can blow up things.
Yeah.
I
I don't disagree with that. I do like that in area control, but again, it's that loss aversion. Doesn't feel good to lose something. I would say you get to do something. So instead of a bomb, for example, I might have a carriage here. It seems like it would be in the right kind of era to have like a horse carriage or something, or a car, whatever era we're in. And that's a free movement. I can do that to that. But you already have that for your crown, I think.
That is one ability, the bolster.
There is one where you can move stuff around. I would have to look at some area control to see what I would want to do, but I'm sure there is. Like I have a few downstairs. I just have to review them. I haven't played them in a while. That's the first one that comes to mind, obviously, is to move a guy around.
The inspiration for this game is obviously things like Peaky Blinders, Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of terrorist activity involved in those gangs and blowing up rival gangs and shooting rival gangs, ambush, things like that. So a little bit. One person that I've tested with said, wow, this game is about a very violent theme, but there's no violence in it. Which is actually kind of interesting. I was almost proud of that, but
I like that too.
I don't know. So I
hear
what
I'm not.
I hear what you're saying. I get pulled back and forth on that.
I'm just giving you my view on it, because I will be right up front. I'm not a huge take that person, and if it is a take that thing, to be able to target any single player, which you would have to do because you'd have to be able to knock whoever you thought you needed to knock down. The problem is when you run into a group and everybody else at the table isn't really targeting the right person, you start to feel targeted. And it doesn't feel good to lose stuff. So that's
would it help? I don't know if you had mentioned this. Sorry, I might have missed it. But would it help if the bomb could only be placed in a place in the same direction as the arrows, or did you already mention that?
No.
I didn't say that.
Because if you could only go where the arrows are, you'd have to place in a strategic spot in order to even place a bomb where you want it.
So you're saying if you deploy from Rooker's Brewery in Centerville, for example, you could only place the bomb in Centerville or Southtown?
Right, and then it makes the bomb makes you have to play strategically, and because I thought it odd that I could just bomb anywhere I wanted, no matter where I was deploying from.
Hmm.
It would be
I don't know if that would solve the
interesting,
issue.
but you might have this. You might be deploying a bomb from here, and you might have a token here and a token on a brawl. I mean, if it was on a brawl, then
Yeah,
you
that's true.
can deploy anywhere. So I don't know that that would give me enough to really go, okay, he's gonna blow my stuff up again. I should probably just stop placing in there, because even if I stop placing in there, then the next turn it might be pointing at something else. So I don't think that would be enough for me to be able to base a decision off of. And that's really the problem, is I can't base any decision off of this bomb. Just comes out of nowhere.
Mhm.
And that's the main issue. I mean, you could argue that, well, this comes out of nowhere too. I'm moving something and I'm doing it.
Yeah,
So
I hear you. It's definitely a take that thing. I thought it was
Yeah.
interesting though that Wes had that strategy. I'm going to bomb everything, and he didn't win that way. He maybe did it a little bit too much, and chose to take that resource instead of deploying, and it didn't really work out. Maybe, I thought that was interesting.
mhm.
Totally.
But I hear what you're saying about. I mean, if you don't like take that, then that's not going to feel good, no matter
No,
what.
and that's why I preface it with, I
Yeah.
don't like take that. And like I said, I don't mind certain take that if it's the obvious choice that you should make in the game to move ahead.
Mhm.
It's just that I'd rather always give somebody something instead of taking something away from somebody else.
Sure.
I would have felt a lot worse if Wes was able to put a token on the board as opposed to take one of mine off.
Mhm.
That's all.
Mhm.
But like I
Cool.
said, lots of games have it. It's probably just me. Um, I don't think I had anything else. Um, the I will say that with all of the take that and everything that was going on, I still enjoyed playing the game. There was some very negative moments for me, but they didn't overcome the whole of the game.
Cool.
I don't know if I would want to play this game over and over and over again, just because of my take that issue.
Mhm.
But I could see people that do like take that, like just like rocking each other, and blowing each other up. Like, I don't see any reason why that type of player, which is obvious what, like as it is, that suits who
Mhm.
it's put towards. And I would sit down and play this again, no problem.
Cool.
I really like the way everything went together, and I did have fun playing it. Just there were a couple of negative moments for me, but
Yeah.
overall, I still had fun playing it. So
I'm
I
glad to
don't
hear.
want to. I don't want to leave it like it was just a negative experience for me, because it was not.
Well, I have to say, for a person who doesn't like take that, you take that pretty well. You have a good sense of humor about it, so
I
that's
told you
good.
I'd be crying later.
But thank you, Trevor. Those are good notes. I like that.
Yeah, you bet.
All right, Evan, what do you got?
All right, Evan.
All right. Okay, let's look at. I thought initially it was a little strange that the die that you're taking only mattered for putting a guy out and not for the other two actions. But then I ended up thinking that was just fine. You take a die and then you do. And sometimes the die is relevant, sometimes not. It didn't bother me as much as I thought it would, even though it is a.
Okay.
If the dice or if the thing correlated to like which thing you'd be filling, that might make a little more cohesive mechanically, but maybe too restrictive. I don't know. Anyway, it just felt a little weird that only one of your choices involved which die you took. The teach for me was really rough. It reminded me of med school when I had those teachers that would just put the PowerPoint up and then read you the PowerPoint that they just put up.
Yeah.
Instead of just like like talking to you like a human being.
Being a human, yeah.
Yeah, and being like, here's how we play the game. You do things, you move these things over here. Right? You like read the script and it was very like lots of jargon, lots of terminologies that were not common use terminologies for things that you're like referencing other things. You kept saying things like, and you can read that on the back of this. And it's like a lot of filler words that aren't actually relevant to what we're doing right now and doesn't actually tell me what's happening and why.
I think that script for like a unguided session though, or like if you were sending this out to like blind testers, like that could be super useful.
Yeah. I think it does work in that setting, but as for me reading it for myself, I think it would probably be okay. But for you telling it to me, and maybe that's just the way my brain works, kind of thing.
It's funny because when I teach this game, about halfway through, I realize that I'm starting to sound a little complex to people. So I do get that feeling myself too. You're right.
Yeah, it's just like, if you tell me, if you're like, yeah, man, on your turn, you're going to pick a die and then pick, one of the symbols up here and put your little cubie and put your little deuter on it.
Yeah.
Great. We just skipped like 5 minutes of your teach, right?
Yeah.
And I understood what you just said, right? Instead of, what is this, landmark card?
Yeah.
Claim to, I don't know what the words were, status token.
Yeah.
Inspector, reference the inspector rules on the back. Like there's just a whole lot of jargon, and you didn't just tell me what to do. You didn't tell me how the game worked. You gave me like the diatribe. But everybody's brain is different. Maybe it works really well for other people. In your own words.
Can I bounce off of that for a second,
I
Evan?
just said all that.
Right. So it's like, yep, just said that. Yep, just said that. Yep, just said that. Yeah. What's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say, one thing I did like what you did, Dickie, because it is a long teach. And I mean, obviously there's room to clean it up a little bit, I think. But the one thing I did like what you did, because there is enough things going on in the game, you went back and just said, okay, so just to review, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Just to reinforce that helped me. I don't know if that was more cumbersome.
And when Evan was saying that, it made me think maybe I should just read the summary paragraphs and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that I would be like, here's how it works, here's what we're doing, and then maybe like one or two little like extra fiddly things where you're like, okay, now pay attention to this because this is a little weird. But like show me what the forest looks like, and then maybe if there's a couple of interesting trees, like show me what the branches do. But
yeah, makes sense.
It was all like, here's a leaf, and I'm like, I don't even know like what part of the world I'm in right now.
Yeah.
What are you even talking about?
For sure.
Dowry. It seems like you can spell it both ways, but most of what the internet shows is DOWRY, no E. So I don't know if it's like a regional difference in spelling or what, but my experience is dowry does not have an E.
See that metal thing underneath it?
That's interesting. I think I got that. I was trying to pattern them after actual Victorian gangs.
I mean, it could have been.
And maybe one was spelled that way, but now that I look at that, you're right. I think I will change that.
I mean, if that was a real gang name, then that's great. Doesn't have to be the current spelling. I just noticed it. I was like, that's not right.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you pointed that out.
Although I did look it up, and it is spelled that way occasionally on the internet elsewhere. So I don't know.
Yeah.
The brawl cards are so different that it's weird that they're not all the way different. Um, like having like when I don't know what I would do, but like like oh here's the brawl area. Those brawl cards came out. We're gonna do these brawls at the end. I don't know. I think it's fine to leave them where they're at, but it was different enough where it felt weird to come back to them and do them at the end instead of like normal. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's probably fine as is.
You're not the first person to say that. Some feedback I've gotten in the past has been, why don't you just have one brawl every round? Just
Right.
have one brawl card, one brawl space out there.
Yeah.
There are obviously some problems with that because I want to thematically, I want to say, okay, there's a brawl in Westchester this round.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, you can't take up one of the 5 spaces because that's where that ward is.
Well, if you wanted to go that direction, what you could do is flip over where the inspector is early, and that's where the brawl goes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could
that's
also
That's interesting.
take 5 cards. You could take 4 cards and a brawl card, mix them up, and then they come out as they want to come out. There's ways of doing it.
Or just put the inspector underneath, or do it that way. Have the brawl come out randomly, and then put the inspector underneath that, and then you don't even you don't even need the number on here on these cards. Anyway.
Yeah.
I did, however, like having 2 brawls sometimes.
Yeah, I like it
because I
too.
was like, ooh, I had a chance to win one.
You know
One
what
I'll
I think
definitely
would
lose,
be
Yeah.
I think would be interesting is if you had more than one die face that you could use.
Two suits showing on it.
Well, just exactly for our situation where we had the last one, we had 2 brawls and barely anybody had anything they could play on it. So one person completely got this card. And I think this one was mixed, but because nobody had coins to really compete with Wes, and I couldn't play on them at all. So I think it would be cool to have like maybe on the bigger brawls, you could play maybe more than one thing. Maybe on the smaller ones, it's just one. I don't know. Just an idea.
The reason I really like the idea of the inspector being tied to the brawls is that it cleans up a lot of weird exception rules with the brawls, right? Because wherever the brawl is, you say, well, this doesn't apply to this card, even though this applies to all the rest. Even though this works this way for all the rest of the cards, this doesn't work brawl and this card. And if you put an inspector wherever the brawl is, then that unclarity kind of gone, right? Because then there isn't a bonus that you have to.
Yeah. So the point of the inspector is to block you from going to a ward.
Right.
So that kind of takes that away, though, doesn't it? Like if the
Why would it take it away?
The inspector's ward is always where a brawl card is, and you can deploy anywhere from a brawl. Then
well, these guys
takes away the power, and unless happens to be a diagonal arrow, right? Like you're saying, Trevor.
Well, how does that
But I mean, if it's under a regular landmark card, then if you're deploying from that card, you can't deploy there. That's kind of the point, is to block you from going somewhere. So if he's under a brawl, then you can always deploy from that brawl card. So it kind of takes that away, unless I'm understanding incorrectly.
But he could currently come out under a brawl as it is, right? Like the inspector could be under a brawl as it is.
Yes, he could.
It just wouldn't be that way every time.
Only one out of every 5 times, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other exception that is also weird is that brawl can go to where the inspector is. Which I'm just guessing through playtesting you found that was necessary, but
yeah, it just gave you it gives you extra incentive to win those brawls, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean it's I wouldn't say that it's something I've discovered playtesting. It's just something it's just a rule I had in there.
Okay. Okay. To me, it seems like a weird extra rule that you have to remember that works differently.
Yeah, yeah. It's never good to have rule exceptions. So yeah, for sure. I'll make a note of that.
Oh, West lost connection.
Oh
No.
Then I beat him. Look, I go ahead.
Yeah. Wes is now in third place.
Right. Okay. Anyway.
Suck it, Bomber.
Sorry, Wes. All these ones that are the all or police officer. At first, I thought I was going to hate those, and then I ended up kind of liking them. Yes, that's it. I have to say about that.
All right. Glad that worked out.
Yes. Brawling. So I hear what Jack was saying, but I actually really like that it is relevant to the symbols because that affects your dice drafting. It gives you more roundness around the dice drafting mechanic.
Yeah,
gives you more reasons to do
That's
a thing.
true.
But your poker hand thing is fraught with lots of weird stuff. I didn't have 5 cards, right? I had 2 dice, 2 cards. I had 3 dice, 2 cards, and an extra symbol, right? That's not poker. It's very different than poker. And trying to have rules around, oh, well, you just pick your best 5 out of your dice, your cards, and the symbol on the card. Right? It's a little onerous. Right? So it's
do you think it might be better if you got rid of like the 3 of a I'm sorry, the full house, for example, and just say you're just trying to get as many as of one symbol as you can?
My recommendation is most of the same symbol wins. If there's a tie, most of a secondary symbol. Right?
So even if you have the most, you would lose then. It would be passed to the second player?
No.
Oh, so the
most of a symbol wins.
Yeah.
If there's a tie, whoever has the most of another symbol.
I do agree, being somebody that plays poker, unless you play Texas Hold'em, that is a difficult thing to probably grasp.
Yeah, because the full house, like it doesn't make sense in this format. Like it's not a full house. I had 4 plus 2, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense.
I like that.
See, it does make sense to me, being a Texas Hold'em player, because I know you're going to get 7 cards and you have to choose your 5 best.
That's not Texas Hold'em.
But that's you're a card short of being 7. So even I think there is enough there for confusion that it's worth.
That's what I would do. And then that doesn't obviate Jack's issues with just the symbols versus the numbers generally, because then it is more complex than numbers. It is. I like it because of what it does to the dice drafting deal, but
it influences your decision on which dice you pick, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I also felt that was an area where, and I'm not sure, Dickie, the direction you want to go weight wise, but the other consideration that I had is because it does impact dice drafting, it ups the AP quite a bit to have brawling and dice selection utilizing the same symbols, which ups the weight of the game pretty significantly. Like I felt like when I first played this game, it was like sub 2.5, like maybe like 2.25 to 2.5, and this time I felt like the game was pretty close to 3 as a weight.
Interesting.
It was just much heavier, given the added complexity with the brawling. And I'm just not sure if you want that or not. So
I played a 3-weight game.
Nice.
I never want complexity. I don't play complex games. I don't play heavy games. So, if it whatever it turns out to be is okay with me. But I
Yeah.
generally lean towards simplicity.
Yeah. Would you agree with that though, Evan?
That this is a 3.
Yeah, or that it's 275 to 3 in that range.
I would maybe go 275.
I would put it above a 2.5.
Yeah.
Or at least at 2.5.
Yeah, at least a 2.5. I don't think it's quite a 3. It's
Yeah.
There are some rules exceptions and some weird little things where if they were shaved off, it would probably be a touch lower. But
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see. The ending deployment. Here's an example. Well, no, let's put. Okay, it's the last round. You have an exception. It's the last round. Actually, you get to deploy your disc. Actually, you get to deploy one of your discs per card. To me, like, that's the one exception too far. It's like the exception of final round, you get to deploy all your discs. Great. Final round, you only get to deploy one of the discs per card. I don't know if that rule is there for a reason or if it's just there.
So let me think back on why that's there.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want I want deployment in the last round to matter.
And it should.
Right. So
Yes.
that's the reason you pick from the extra cards to make sure you have a full set of choices.
Yes.
I missed that rule.
If you're only able to deploy one thug to a card, and it didn't go to the map, you weren't able to deploy from there. Why would you do it?
No. I think you should have deployment in the final round.
So how would you change it?
Why are you restricting it to only one of my dudes from the card instead of both guys?
I didn't realize that it was.
It was.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I can't remember why I did that now. This game is a couple of years old, and I've got 10 others that I'm working on.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there was a really good reason that I just can't think of.
I'll have to think about that. Yeah.
But to me, it's way cleaner to be like, final round, you get to you deploy all cards.
Maybe it was possibly Dickie because the person that's going to be last to act could decide where they're going to put their tokens, and the last to act, if they can get their token where they need it to be, if there's a lot of empty space, they can really have the last hammer in a sector. And maybe you wanted to avoid somebody having 2 or 3 or 4 into one sector and just destroying things, and them winning because they had the last move.
Yeah, that does make sense. I'm not sure if that was the reason, but yeah. Yeah, I'll have to think about that, Evan. And think about why that would matter. Because I could see your point. Why not deploy all of them?
It changes my actions in such a weird way. Yeah. Where I'm like, okay, now it's not optimal to have more than one disc on a card. Okay. So that's weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas the whole rest of the game, you want discs now.
Yeah, totally. And I don't want exceptions, so yeah. I hear
must deploy to use my I didn't like that I had to be deploying in order to use my things down here and have them not get wasted. Yeah. Tying those together, I think, is probably good for game flow, but it was weird that I wouldn't be able to use entire dice actions that I spent grabbing these guys unless I also was bringing a guy down.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think it is
I felt the
attached.
same thing.
Yeah.
It was very weird for me to not
Yeah.
like I built up these powers.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Not
what I
that I
was
built any of them up. I just used my 3.
Yeah, I think what I was trying to prevent there is, say for example, Wes piled up 5
Yeah.
bombs,
Right.
and he could just use them whenever he wants, wherever he
Yeah.
wants, and just clean out a ward. You know.
Right. No, I understand why it is attached to it, and it does actually work really well that way. It just
Which is what he did.
Yeah.
does lead to the
I hear
weirdness
you.
of I know.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know. I guess you
Cool.
give some bonus points for him at the end of the game, but no play card after draw. And this is just like a generic, like if you want to slow down your game, allow someone to play a card immediately after they draw it. If you don't want to slow down your game, don't allow people to play their cards immediately after drawing them.
Yeah.
Like a regular rule. Like usually better to not.
Yes, I agree with that.
Just if you are keeping it as a poker hand of 5 symbols, regardless of whether they're from dice cards or the card up there, you have to write that somewhere, because that's not written anywhere.
Yeah, I think I've pretty much settled on just changing it to get as many of that symbol, get as
Okay.
many of a symbol as you can. Yeah.
Okay. These piles here, don't think they're very compelling. As they stand, I think they are filler to enable this one mechanism. It feels like this was something that was important in the game, and then you were like, well, what else can we put under things? I don't know. How about a weird little bonus?
So it's actually quite the opposite.
Or was it opposite?
That's actually one of the reasons I built this game, because I played a different game.
Yeah.
You guys might know Chris Baki. He designed a
Oh, yeah.
game. He designed a really cool game that was I think it was called Cryptocurrency, that had this kind of mechanism where
Oh, yeah.
it had a special conversion rate. And I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I want to put that in a game. So that
Yeah.
actually the inspector was the thing I added later.
That's
So,
really funny.
That's funny.
That's really funny.
I feel like
I really liked looking to see what I could do with these. So I was on the opposite side.
Oh,
for
funny.
that one.
those bonuses were really impactful in the game too, though, because that's how you edged me out at Eastwick, and then also how how Trevor was able to take over Northingham.
Yeah.
Or Northington.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Because it sounds like the other guys really liked it.
No feedback is wrong. It's
But
just,
but to me, these were not compelling or interesting. I'm not saying they weren't mechanically good, right? Like, not that they weren't good to do, but that they weren't interesting to do.
okay.
Like, it's totally disassociated from the theme, right? Like, why does spending a bomb turn 2 of my guys into 4 guys? I couldn't tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the one little piece that, like, it doesn't have a compelling, like, what am I interacting with there? What am I doing? It's not a bad action. It's just not an interesting or thematically compelling action.
Gotcha.
And so I think there's some room there to make those interesting.
So is that one for you mechanically fine, but more it's just the thematic piece that's not fitting for you, Evan?
Yeah, it's mechanically fine. Yeah, just not particularly interesting. It was actually pretty strong sometimes, right? Like that's really strong. It's just not interesting. I think. And it's not it's not thematic.
Yeah, I struggled to come up with an applicable name for that. Status token is not the final answer.
No.
I need to come up with something better.
Yeah. And so what I wonder is,
recruiting bonus or something, so
And then
something needs a better name.
there was also some other things that were thematically a little strange, like the brewery. Of all the symbols you have on your dice for a brewery,
Bottle, huh?
you chose key and mouse,
Yeah.
right?
No, that's
And
those
no
symbols.
bottles.
Yeah, those the iconography does not correlate to the name in any way on those cards. So, but
Yeah.
that's an interesting point. I've never had anybody say that.
I was just
Now
like,
I must put a bottle on Rocker's Brewery now.
yeah, right, exactly. Okay. So let's get into the scheme. And I think this is another area that I don't know. So Blast obviously was used a bunch.
What does that one do?
Now Bribe and Bolster, I could be wrong, but maybe between them were used once.
I think Bolster was used 3 or 4 times.
Really?
as I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. I totally missed. I think I saw it get used once, and maybe I just missed on the rest.
I personally used Bribe twice, and I
Did you?
used Bolster
All right.
once.
Oh, great.
I used Bolster at the end because
Did
I had
you?
a crown left.
Okay.
And I misused it because I didn't see that I would get a point if I had it
Okay.
left on my board.
Okay.
But I also lost by a gigantic margin. So,
Well,
I mean, just keep that in mind.
Personally, to me, in my one play expertise of this game and the math of it, I feel like Bribe and Bolster are dramatically underpowered in comparison with Blast. Dramatically, I think.
Mhm.
And Blast is best. And where do I write that? If you don't, you know, only you really know the math behind the game, right? But from my initial impression is those are super weak, and Bolster should be, for example, like obviously don't just do what I say, but
Yeah.
if I were to change it, I would change it to Bolster is either add a guy or move 2 guys. Bribe would be, and this is when I was thinking about what Trevor was saying about being able to pick, take being first player.
Yeah.
Then Bribe would be grab first player marker and then either move the copper or deploy to the inspector look. And then Blast would be exactly what it is, unless you feel like it's too intense for families to play or whatever, and then you could change it to raid or tip off, or some other thematic thing that's not blowing people up, that works mechanically exactly the same.
Yeah.
And then
I want to talk about something that reminds me of in a second. But yeah.
and then the that system, that Bolster Bribe Blast, it feels like they should be tied to your deployment because they are happening during your deployment, right? So if I deploy this dude, right, and he can go down to Centerville, if I deploy to Centerville, well, guess what? If I want to bolster, I'm bolstering to Centerville. If I want to bribe, that's, I'm doing it in Centerville. If I want to blast, I'm blasting in Centerville. It's weird that I can like on my deployment to Centerville, I can blast any. You know what I mean? It just feels disconnected.
Yeah, I think what my thinking was there. I hear you, and I'm making a note of that because I think it's interesting. Was that you obviously are in communication with your thugs all over the map, right? And you can make a plan to bomb Eastwick while you're deploying to Westchester if you want to. So you can pull off 2 things at once. You can pull off a scheme anywhere on the map.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I did think before is that maybe you couldn't do it in a ward where you have no presence,
Mm-hmm.
which would make sense.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
thematically, what you're saying makes sense, but mechanically, you are tying the ability to do a scheme to my placement in a specific spot, right? The mechanism is when I am placing from this card
Mhm.
is when I get to do the thing.
Yeah, I think my thinking was when you're deploying from a card, that just
Mhm.
gives you the chance
Interesting.
to do a scheme, not necessarily tied to where you're deploying to.
Interesting.
But yeah,
Okay.
I hear you.
That was where my brain went.
Yeah,
Was how come it's not tied to the deployment that I'm doing?
yeah.
When that's when I do my scheme.
I think that's a good note.
The other thing is, if I'm deploying from here, can I spend a bomb here and blast?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, you can also blast. Yeah, if you have 2 bombs to spend,
You do
you
both
can
of
do
them.
both of those things. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. That's just a thing that might come up. I don't know. Okay. Yes. Least scoring for these things, or the rainbow scoring or arc scoring, um, like um, Wes was saying, where it's like this,
Yeah.
or least. I think
1-3-1 kind of thing.
yeah, I think like Trevor was saying, the least. I think that would bring in a lot of interesting stuff going on, as long as it's not overdone.
Yeah.
Because if like half of the wards have the fewest guys there, then you're not really playing the game. Because theoretically, like you want to get guys on the map.
Yeah.
And if there's an area that behooves you to not have guys on the map, then you're kind of like not playing your game.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Stop playing there for the rest of the game. Yeah.
right, but it would be interesting in like one spot,
Mm-hmm.
because in order to have the least, you have to weather the bombs and the coppers to at least have one.
Yeah.
Right. So then it is an interesting thing, but you wouldn't want it in like more than one spot.
Yeah. There are 9 scoring tokens. I could see adding a 10th one that's like that.
Yeah,
There,
but I do
there
think
is a
that'd be interesting.
problem with that though.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, and that's your bonus for your area. So if you were the unlucky one that got
That's true.
the
That's true.
least, then you could never be the boss and own your area and get the most for being in your area.
That's a good point.
Maybe it's okay if you don't sweep all the points in a spot.
Yeah, but that would just be unlucky for you if everybody else got one where they could and you couldn't.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Interesting.
Yeah, it would put you at a disadvantage.
I see that.
mhm.
Mhm.
But you certainly could do like a 4-4-2 or something like that, where it was, or I don't know.
The 2-4-2. I like that.
The Ethnos does a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe have a look at Ethnos, what they do, but there may be a reason why they can do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I think there is room for some more interesting decision tiles.
Yeah.
There's room to grow in them. And snake draft. I think, generally speaking, the longer a game is, the less frequently you're seeing it in modern design. Snake draft. It's not strictly true, of course, but because of the reason Jack cited, the wait time, if the thing takes too long to get back. So you are seeing it less and less, especially in, if I don't know if I feel strongly one way or another on that in this, because I never felt bad about it, but
Yeah.
Jack had that experience, right? So
Sure.
it is relevant.
Yeah, and the inconsistency of how many rounds there are
Mhm.
was one of my factors in making that decision. So, you know, you never got so one player didn't get 3 turns being first, and another
Yeah.
player only got 2. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have a strong. I think it's an interesting discussion, and I really was. I kind of, but I don't feel what versus
Yeah, I
keeping
wonder.
that or having a first player thing on Bribe or whatever. However you.
I wonder if you could track it by like, you know, you have turn order is determined by like leader, you know. So
yeah,
like if you're behind, you get first pick of dice or something.
yeah.
Um
I love that. I do that in other games.
yeah.
The last place player always gets to choose or gets
Yeah.
first choice or goes first. But yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, I
this
wonder
is a
if that
game.
could work.
This is a game that's hard to track your score because it's always
Right.
changing.
Yeah, you'd have
It
to
Especially
is.
when
base
you're
it on
talking
like
about going from most to second most, you know, bouncing back and forth. You're going to be going up and down.
yeah, you'd have to base it on like who controlled the fewest, you know, who had the fewest ward bosses or
Yeah,
something. Like
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
hard to know.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's not exactly accurately representing either.
It's not because
Yeah.
you could have stacked your board and stacked your hand, right?
Right.
True. True.
Yeah. Or fewest. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a good soul for that. So that's what I had to say, critique wise. Um, Positives, like everybody else said, the art is awesome. This game will sell on the art alone, whether or not you touch it again in any way, shape, or form, and make any changes at all. It will sell because of the art as it is. Um, that being said, obviously you want to make the best game you can make, so that when it gets
nah,
out to people,
I don't care about that at all.
when it gets out to people, they
Just the
recommend it to
money.
other people buy it.
Yeah.
But
Give me money.
but literally, it will sell just because of the art as it is.
Cool.
And that's a huge boon. I let's see, iconography, yeah, very clear. Like Trevor was saying, you know, the money was a little weird looking, but it's distinct and obviously different from the rest. So, um, let's see what else. I'm rolling dice. I'm passing a top hat. I'm placing little dudes on a map. Like you've got good table presence, I suspect. I don't know if you've played a physical prototype
I haven't.
implementation of this.
No, I'm
You have,
just actually getting ready to send
yeah.
components in to get those.
But I suspect if you lay this out in a convention, people are going to wander by and be like, "Oh, what's this?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it's got table presence.
It looks like an approachable, like how I would say it is it looks like an approachable oh, what is that one by Roxley that's got the two-sided map now? It's always
Oh, I
like
don't
it's
know.
top 10 game.
I only know a couple of Roxy games.
Uh you know, it's set around like you're trading like 1900s, late 1800s, you're trading
Furnace?
coal.
Furnace?
No,
I don't know.
this was an old
Not
one that they
brass, is it?
yeah, brass.
Oh, okay.
This to
Brass
me looks
Birmingham.
like an approachable brass.
Hmm.
That's
Interesting.
I look at this. I'm like, it kind of looks like brass, but this looks like fun. Not that I mean, I'm not saying brass isn't fun. Just edit that out
I
in
do
your
love the
editing.
look. I love the look of that game for sure. So that's
I actually really enjoy brass, but
Yeah,
Trevor, you would hate it.
it's just too heavy for me.
You would hate it. Yeah,
I've
you would
never
hate it.
tried it. I can't comment.
It's really good. I really like it, but
I just I don't even try it because it's of the weight.
yeah, you would not like it.
Whereas this to me looks like, oh, okay, I can see it's yeah, I can see how this is kind of going together. I will sit down and learn this one.
But yeah, like you've got a nice mixture of things going on here. It's like I said, you do have a couple of weird little rough edges, but for the most part, play makes sense, plays pretty smooth, things make sense once you get past that teach. I think that's, at least for me, that was the big hurdle getting through the teaching. Oh, I just take a die and do the thing.
Don't
Fine.
pay any attention to what I said. Just figure it out and then.
But yeah, man, I really enjoyed this. I think you've got an awesome product here, and I had a lot of fun the whole time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm glad you did. And great feedback. Thanks. Yeah, I have great notes here.
good. Yeah, hopefully,
Definitely going to use
found
that
something useful in what we all
sure.
said.
for sure. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to be on the podcast.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah.
Jack, are you still there?
I am.
Close it
Yeah.
out.
Well, the last thing I would just ask you, Dickie, is, one of the aims of this show is we want to bring designers on like yourself, like awesome designers who are building cool games and help them develop their games.
Mhm.
But the other thing is, some people watch this who are first time designers, or they're just trying to figure out the playtesting process a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, I always like to ask at the end, what kind of, you just played a game, you've gotten all this feedback. What's on your mind as the designer of this game? What are you seeing as you look at this through your eyes right now?
Well, my first thing is I can't wait till tomorrow morning. I can come in and implement some of these changes. It's exciting to me. I don't ever get discouraged by feedback. It's always constructive, and I think it's always in good spirit, in good, good intentions behind them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to digging in tomorrow and seeing how I can make it better.
What are some of the
that's
things
the
that
point of playtesting.
what are some of the things that shake to the top for you that you're like, oh, interesting, I kind of want to play with that, or I want to play
As
test
far as
that?
the feedback I got tonight,
Yeah, or things that you noticed as we were playing, maybe that we didn't mention.
yeah, I noticed that there were questions during the game, almost all the way through the game, and I don't think that's ever a good thing. So I either, maybe it's a first time player thing, or I didn't do a good job in the teach, but I think that's always something you want to avoid. Especially in a game like this where it's pretty much the same core loop happening several times. You want to get first couple times maybe shaky for people, but after that it should be smooth enough to play without questions. So that's something I want to work on. I really liked Wes's suggestion of spending a die for either 2 resources, 2 cards, or 1 of each. I think that's a no-brainer to put in.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great stuff here. It's hard to just identify one thing. I do like Evan. I like your suggestion of making the first 2 schemes a little bit more powerful to match the blast.
Yeah.
So that's something I'll think about. The Jack, you said the pickpocket was overpowerful. Definitely need to do something about that. I mean, we all have you all had great notes. So
cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's great to
stuff.
hear, and it's fun to see what because a designer will pick up on things as they're playing their own game that the playtesters don't. You've seen it so many times for so long, so it's really interesting to always hear what the designer thinks too, and not just the testers.
All right.
Yeah, I'm always paranoid that I talk too much in my own feedback sessions. So hopefully I didn't do that too much tonight.
No. It was great, Dickie. Thanks. Dickie Chapin, thanks for being on the show, man. Where can people are scrolling to the end here. What can they do to follow along with your work at Frown Clowns or 5 Words specifically?
So I guess they can go to frownclowns.com to see what it's. The website is not that updated because I pretty much had one campaign for Joystick Heroes that funded, and after that I've been either exhausted or working on other games. So I need to put something about 5 Words up there because it is going to come to Kickstarter next summer, and that will be, as I mentioned, a co-release with Frown Clowns and Dragonite Games that I'm looking forward to. I know, Jack, you're possibly working with Dragonite Games as well, so something for us both to be excited about.
Nice.
And yeah, I guess there's no really thing I can send people to at this point, but just, I guess, keep your eye out in the groups and stuff like that.
Sweet. Awesome. Dickie, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for showing your game to us and sharing this beautiful art with us too. It's amazing. So thanks a lot. We really
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you guys.
Jack, where can people find you?
newkingdomgaming.com. It's a good place to learn more about what I'm doing. Or on Facebook, Jack Dunbar. Follow me, or connect with me, DM me. That's always good.
Trevor?
Zungagames.com. That's Zunga, or in the States,
Zed.
Zunga.
Zed.
I love it.
Or you can get me on Facebook as well, either under my name or under Zunga Games.
So is it
Guys-
Zedunga or
Dunga.
You guys write zebras up there too?
Yeah,
They
but
ride
when I'm-
zebras all over the place.
Yeah, when I'm out of my igloo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, or not playing hockey. Yeah.
Cool. All right, everybody. I had a great time. Thank you so much, Trevor, for jumping in with us. Dickie for bringing your game. Jack,
Pleasure.
as always. And here, I'm just gonna we're gonna stop streaming here, and we
That was playtest this.
are. Oh, that was playtest this, and we are.